The pitch by Busic. Swung on and missed.
It's time for Wenatchee AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Coverage of tonight's broadcast is sponsored by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Now, let's go live to Paul Thomas Senior Field on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College for AppleSox baseball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
So the AppleSox will advance. Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. It's Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. It's the Wenatchee AppleSox taking on the Bellingham Bells. And I'm Eric Granstrom with you here for your play-by-play tonight on the NCWLIFE Channel as we stream it live on Facebook around the world, as well as our website, YouTube, and, of course, on television here locally on LocalTel Channel 12 and Charter Channel 19. Well, the two teams have met many times so far this season, with the AppleSox winning 3 and losing 3. The AppleSox took 2 of 3 in Bellingham. The Bells returned the favor and took 2 of 3 from Wenatchee. In fact, just a week ago, as we were here to broadcast that game on Friday night with a return of head coach Ed Nags, head man of another team for the first time here at Paul Thomas. He was an assistant many years in Corvallis, but came here as a head coach for the first time of the Bellingham Bells, and they won that game that night 5-1. The AppleSox would clinch a postseason berth the following day with a victory over Bellingham. The two teams have played a lot over the years, and in those meetings, Wenatchee has the edge 62-56 all time, going back to the early days of the Pacific International League. Tonight, it's going to be a great matchup. We've got two pitchers that have done well so far in their college seasons as well as here in the summer collegiate season. The Bellingham Bells are head coached by Ed Nags, as we mentioned, coming in with a record of 33-21. The AppleSox are 31-23, so very even as far as their overall schedule and their overall results, as well as what they've done to each other here so far this season. And we expect another tight one here tonight. It's a best-of-3 series following tonight's Game 1. They'll move to Bellingham tomorrow night for Game 2, and if necessary, Game 3 on Sunday at Joe Martin Field. They're announcing the lineups here for this postseason matchup here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Let's take a look at that here as the Bells will lead off with Aiden Aguayo. He's the shortstop, batting .275. Batting second will be Gavin Long. The left fielder hit a home run a week ago tonight, and they're hoping to keep him inside the park tonight. He's batting .295. Batting third out of the USC, he's the DH tonight, batting .311. He's Andrew Lamb. Batting fourth is the first baseman Noah Cassie, batting .318 on the summer out of the University of Texas Corpus Christi. UCLA's Blake Balls is catching. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth is Noah Meffert, senior at Gonzaga. He's the right fielder. Batting seventh will be the third baseman Nate Kirkpatrick, who's batting .279 out of Virginia Commonwealth. It is a senior, a sophomore that is, at Edmonds Community College, batting eighth. He'll play second base. His name is Noah Figured. And batting ninth will be Brock Sell, the center fielder, batting .247, freshman at Stanford. On the mound for the Bells tonight will be Trevor Moore. He's the one who beat Wenatchee a week ago, going 5 innings and just dominating the AppleSox. He's 1-2 on the season with a 2.48 earned run average. Meanwhile, for the Wenatchee AppleSox, as they're announced by Mitch Darlington, coming in, as I mentioned, with a record of 31-23, but, you know, we're in the postseason now. Everybody's 0-0. Cade Martinez will lead it off. He's been the all-everything for the AppleSox. Started most of the summer at shortstop, has moved over to the third base here in the last month of the season. He's out of the University of San Diego. He'll bat first, and he's hitting .302 on the summer. Welcome back, Cam Hoyland. He's back in an AppleSox uniform for only the fourth game this summer. Center fielder batting .250 so far through 3 games out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He's batting second. Batting third is the Madriaga. Boy, has he been a sharp addition to the Sox defensively at shortstop and also at the plate. He's on fire, batting .350 on the summer. He'll play at second base. He is out of Lewis and Clark States. A Cal State Bakersfield product is batting cleanup for the AppleSox tonight. That's Evan Cloyd at first base, batting .365 here in 18 games this summer. Elijah Plio is batting fifth. He is the shortstop. He's batting .293 on the summer out of Cal State Bakersfield. Ji-Hee Lee has also been a stalwart out in left field here as the summer has passed. He's batting .275 out of Cal State Northridge. Noah Fields will bat seventh. He's the right fielder from the University of Texas Arlington, batting .291. Kanoa Murasaki has been a spark plug behind the plate, and he's really risen his average here lately. And watch out, the catcher can certainly get on the base paths and steal some bags. He's a junior out of Cal State Bakersfield. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth. The DH tonight is Theo Kim out of the University of California, Irvine. He's batting .239. Meanwhile, on the mound for the AppleSox will be Evan Canfield with an 0-run record and a 2.45 earned run average out of Lewis and Clark State. He's a junior there, 6'3", 210 pounds. So those are the starting lineups as we get ready for Game 1 tonight here of the North Division playoffs. The other Game 1 tonight features the Edmonton Riverhawks and the Victoria Harbor Cats. Game 1 for that series is in Victoria, with the Harbor Cats getting the number 3 seed and winning the second half title in the North Division. Edmonton, and boy, they've played a lot of baseball. If that game goes 3 games in that series, they'll have played 7 times in the last week and a half between those two ball clubs. That's a lot of baseball between two. For the AppleSox, it's all about getting off to a fast start offensively here this season. Wenatchee, in the second inning this season overall, has scored 45 runs to 12 for their opponents. If they can get out early and strong, then that usually bodes well for the AppleSox. Their biggest inning output on the season has been the fourth. Here at home, the AppleSox have scored 27 runs at home. They've scored 18 on the road. That's 55 runs scored in that fourth inning. So the AppleSox hoping to get things going early. They have the tendency to give up runs late, so they're hoping that the game is out of reach by then, so they don't have to worry about the bullpen so much. So the AppleSox being announced in front of the third base dugout, in front of a good crowd here on hand tonight. This will be the final game of the season here, played at Paul Thomas. No matter what happens, if the AppleSox go on to beat Bellingham and advance to the North Division Championship, that game will be played either at Victoria or Edmonton, since they're the higher seed and have better records. Meanwhile, if the AppleSox are able to get past that and get to the championship as they did a year ago against Portland, they would face that South Division team on the road for the championship. But a long way to go between now and then, and AppleSox fans are hoping for good things here in the postseason as it begins tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel. They are continuing the lineup announcements here in front of the home crowd, and we're happy that you can join us here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast all summer long has been brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call today at 509-662-6842. That's 662-6842. They're on the web at alpineair.net. That's Alpine Air as in AIRE.net. So just about ready for the Star Spangled Banner here. Both teams being from the States. I don't think we'll have our Canadian anthem, even though the West Coast League is certainly well distributed across British Columbia and the places to the north, besides being here in Washington and Oregon. It's time for our national anthem. We'll have that for you now here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Mayor Beth and Sarah are past members in Music Theater of Wenatchee, Marvelous Wonderland, playing at the Riverside Playhouse this fall. Rock back in time with this bubbly jukebox musical featuring timeless 50s and 60s tunes like Lollipop, Stupid Cupid, and Dream Lover. Performances run October 16th through November 1st.
Wonderful job on our anthem here tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as we celebrate the country, celebrate the pastime, celebrate baseball as the AppleSox take on the Bellingham Bells here in Game 1. Let me doff the cap back here as we get ready for baseball tonight. I'm without my broadcast partner, Brandon Schmitten. Coach has other things going on in his life, including a big birthday party. So happy birthday to whomever. I will be attending a 40th wedding anniversary tomorrow up in Manson. So looking forward to that. Says we celebrate 1 inning a summer right here, 3 outs at a time. AppleSox, 57 postseason games prior to this season. They're 33-24 all-time in the postseason. They've outscored opponents in those 57 games an average of 5-3. Sox 20-7 as the quote-unquote home team and 13-17 as the visiting team. Of course, you go back to the opening days of the Pacific International League when Ed Nags was the head coach here at Wenatchee and was able to get them to the postseason. Those were at neutral sites. Of course, Wenatchee having one of the best teams ever probably that went to Bellingham in 2001 and had a chance to do some damage in the postseason. But unfortunately, because of a roster gaffe going into the tournament at Joe Martin Field in Bellingham, Wenatchee had to forfeit the first game it was to play. And they would lose to Seattle after that and be 2 and gone. But Wenatchee has certainly found their footing since and have done very well for themselves with 5 championships. All of those going back to the PIL days and all those under Ed Nags, by the way. So the AppleSox trying to get something else for Mitch Darlington, who, by the way, is the first coach in AppleSox history to take his club to the postseason for 4 of his first 4 seasons. So congratulations to Mitch. AppleSox also with a 32-win season. That's the 4th best all time. So congratulations to Mitch Darlington and his crew. So we're just about ready for baseball. The umpires tonight, by the way, Gabe Nobert is behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Matthew DeGray is at first base, and Corey Klein is over at third. Yes, a 3-man crew here for this game here tonight and for the series in a best of 3 with Game 2 tomorrow night in Bellingham and, if necessary, Game 3 also at Joe Martin Field. So leading it off for the Bells will be Aiden Aguayo, the shortstop, batting .275. And on the mound to face him is Evan Canfield, the right-hander. Always works from the stretch, looks over towards the third base dugout. That's the AppleSox side of things here. And his first pitch misses high for ball 1. We are underway here for the West Coast League North Division Championship. This is a wild card playoff game, if you will. The AppleSox getting the number 4 seed, the second wild card spot to earn a shot here against Bellingham. 1-0 the count, and the pitch by Canfield swung on and fouled back, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Aguayo is definitely a threat when he gets on the base paths. He's got 22 stolen bases on the summer. So if you're Evan Canfield here, you want to try to figure out a way to retire the top end of their order because they can do some damage. Gavin Long waiting on deck hit a home run a week ago here on a Friday night. This pitch is a pretty good speed to it, but misses. And the count goes to 2-1 on Aguayo. We'll talk more about the starter for Bellingham coming up as the AppleSox head to the plate in the bottom half of the first inning. Bells got off to an early lead in the game of a week ago, with a solo home run by Gavin Long in the first inning, and would go on for the 5-1 victory. Wenatchee would come back and win the following night and secure themselves a spot here in the postseason, and then fall on Sunday by a score of 10-5 as Bellingham broke open a tie game with 7 runs in the 8th inning and would go on for the 10-5 win. Pitch by Canfield swung on and hit in the air, and that's going to go over the shortstop into center field for a base hit. So a leadoff base hit by Aguayo, and Bellingham very, very aggressive. Ed Nag's style of baseball on the pass. And Nags going through the signs in the third base coach's box as Gavin Long will step to the plate. Gavin with 21 RBIs, 3 home runs, one of which last Friday here in this ballpark. The wind that night was blowing in from right, and look at that. It's blowing in from right again. Canfield with a runner behind him at first base. Pitch to the plate is a little outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. So a little difficult time for Evan Canfield to find the strike zone right now for the Wenatchee AppleSox starter. Canfield making his fourth appearance and fourth start of the summer for the AppleSox in his 11 innings. He's got 14 strikeouts and 5 walks, so he doesn't walk often. The 1-0 pitch by Canfield. On the way to the plate is a curveball missing low. Nice stop by Kanoa Morisaki in the count 2-0 on Gavin Long. Morisaki behind the plate. You've got Evan Cloyd over at first base, Izzy Madriaga at second, Elijah Palayo at shortstop, and Cade Martinez at third. Jihee Lee is out in left field, Cam Hoyland in center, and Noah Fields out in right field. Kind of interesting with the first name of Noah, evidently very popular when these youngsters were born by their parents anyway. We've got 3 Noahs in the starting lineup for both clubs tonight. Pitch here is a bunt attempt, and it's right back in front of the plate. Morisaki throws, low throw, can't be dug out over there. And runners at first and second safe. That was a beautiful bunt by Gavin Long. Now, if my broadcast partner were here, he'd say that should be an out. I'm going to give him an infield base hit on that. So runners at first and second here for Aguayo and Long, and that'll bring up Andrew Lamb. Lamb batting .311 on the summer. He's got a lot of RBIs, 26, a chance to pick up some here, but he also has 27 strikeouts. So he is a swing and miss proponent at the plate. Infield drawn in on the corners here for the AppleSox, trying to get the double play. Maybe expecting another bunt with nobody out and 2 aboard. Canfield's pitch on the way is taken for a ball outside with a fastball. 1-0 the count to Lamb. Lamb, a junior from USC. Ed Nags makes his home for the majority of the season down in the Los Angeles area. And so you see that reflected in his recruiting here for Bellingham this summer. Canfield set. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Is squaring to bunt is the batter Lamb. He'll take the pitch, and it's a strike called in the count, even a 1-1 strike. Again, Gabe Nobert behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Matthew DeGray over at first base, and Corey Klein at third base. 1-1 the count to Lamb with runners at first and second. Scoreless top of the first here, game 1 of the West Coast League divisional playoffs. Pitch on the way is a bunt attempt. He'll square and take it, and the pitch misses high and away for a ball. 2-1 the count. Our 3-man crew here, the umpire from third base will go over behind the mound on the shortstop side, third base side of behind the mound, if you will, to watch the base paths. First base umpire stays right on the line. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on and fouled back, and the count goes even here to Andrew Lamb at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking at the opposition here for the summer here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, the opposition has scored 12 times in the first inning, averaging just under 5 runs per game here at Paul Thomas. Bellingham hoping to strike first here in the first with 2 aboard and nobody out. The 2-2 pitch after a couple of looks over his shoulder by Canfield, swung on and a fly ball past the diving second baseman, and the ball will come into the infield. Nice attempt over there by Madriaga. He just couldn't get to it because he was have to pay attention to the runner on the base pass. So back-to-back base hits here for Bellingham. Loads the bases for Noah Cassie. Cassie, a 6'3", 215-pound junior from the University of Texas Corpus Christi, batting .318 on the summer. He also has walked 22 times. So Ed Nags is not shy about doing some trickeration here on the base paths. Pitch on the way to the plate, curveball in there for a called strike, and finally ahead of a batter is Noah Cassie, or is Evan Canfield against Noah Cassie. Cassie back in the right-handed batter's box, wearing 8 upon his back. Jersey tops for Bellingham, black with the white pinstripes. Canfield's 0-1 pitch swung on a miss, and he fooled him there. as Cassie was behind that hefty fastball from Evan Canfield. The count now 0-2. Again, Canfield with 14 strikeouts coming in his 11 innings. He would love to get a strikeout right here, put the double play on, and get out of this unscathed. Pitch on the way to the plate. Swung on a fly ball to left field. This is back deep, and it is foul ball. Foul ball. Bellingham was rounding the bases, thinking it was extra bases, but no. Good job by Jihi Lee out there in left field to help out the umpiring crew. And so that's just a long foul ball. The count remains at 0-2 strikes. AppleSox baseball brought to you in part by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call at 509-662-6842. 0-2 count to Cassie, and that was dangerous to be clearing the bases on that poke down the left field line, as Cassie was waiting for that off-speed pitch a little bit ahead of it. Canfield with that little hitch on his left foot, and the delivery to the plate is a curveball in there for strike 3. Gone looking for the first out of the inning is Noah Cassie. That's a huge strikeout for Evan Canfield. So 1 out, and that'll bring up the catcher, Blake Balls. Balls, a 5'10", 195-pound junior from UCLA. He's batting .235 on the summer. A lot of walks, 25 walks, but also quite a few strikeouts, 17 strikeouts. So Evan Canfield would love to get 2 back-to-back here. Take the pressure off the infield. Infield still in on the corners with 1 out now, and the bases loaded. Pitch on the way. Curveball misses low for ball 1. As we mentioned, these two teams have met 6 times so far this summer, with Bellingham taking 3 and the AppleSox taking 3. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball missing just outside. Of course, we're going to have a lot of umpires in the stands here tonight in front of this partisan crowd. AppleSox in Bellingham won Game 1 of the series back on June 24th, 8-3. The Bells came back, won Game 2 the following night on Saturday in Bellingham, 15-2, and then the AppleSox took Game 3 on June 26th, 3-2. Theo Kim with a big game-winning hit in that one. Pitch on the way, swung on a fly ball to left field. Jihi Lee over to his right will field and throw after the runner from third tags. They're going to score a run, and the AppleSox now trail Bellingham 1-0 on the sacrifice fly and the RBI by Blake Bowles. So F7 on the putout. That's the second out of the inning, as Aguayo comes home to score the first run of the ball game. Gavin Long stays at second base. Over at first base, Andrew Lamb. That'll bring up the right fielder, Noah Meffert. Meffert, a 6'2", 200-pound senior from Gonzaga, batting .302 on the summer for the Bells. Pitch on the way to him is a curveball low. Good stop by Morisaki, and the count 1-0. The series between Bellingham and Wenatchee moved 2 here at Paul Thomas last weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Bellingham taking 2 of 3. The Bells took Game 1, broadcast right here live on the NCWLIFE Channel, 5-1. The Sox came back the following night and won 5-4. This pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count even now to Meffert at 1-1 strike. Bells took the final game of the series on Sunday, August 3rd, 10-5. Before Wenatchee headed to Kelowna to wrap up the regular season on the road. Good to hear Joel Norman back on the call on Sunny FM as he surprised the coaching staff in Kelowna as they arrived to the hotel. They had no idea that Joel was going to be there. The 1-1 pitch from Evan Canfield with 2 aboard, 1 in, 2 outs, swung on and missed. He was behind that fastball, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Aguayo got aboard on a base hit to start off the ball game. He came around and scored on the sacrifice fly RBI by Blake Balls. That's where we are right now at 1-0 with 2 on and 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. 1-2 the count to Noah Meffert. And the pitch by Canfield swung on, and a fly ball to the right side is going to be called for by the right fielder, Noah Fields, and he'll make the out. So Noah out to Noah on the arcing fly ball to the right side of the diamond here. So Bellingham gets a run on 3 hits. They leave 2. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Wenatchee due up. The Bells on the board first here in this West Coast League North Division playoff on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $2,500.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Some people say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Well, those people have obviously never tried Abby's Big Hawaiian, featuring loads of Canadian bacon and Dole pineapple. Right now at Abby's.com, order this juicy, cheesy, and legendary pizza at a mouth-watering price. Celebrate the summer of good with an Abby's Big Hawaiian.
AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge. 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough. Order online at Abby's.com. Thanks for joining us here tonight on the NCWLIFE Channel, bringing you Game 1 of the best-of-3 first-round series here in the West Coast League North Division playoffs between the old foes of the Bellingham Bells and the Wenatchee AppleSox. Bellingham getting 3 hits back-to-back and scoring a run in the first on a sacrifice fly. Now the AppleSox coming to the plates with Cade Martinez, Cam Hoyland, and Izzy Madriaga. That's the lineup that will face Trevor Moore, 6'1", 218-pound junior from Stanford. 1-2 on the summer with a 2.48 earned run average. He was dominant against the Wenatchee AppleSox last Friday, going 5 innings to get the victory on the mound for Bellingham. So Trevor Moore, I asked Coach Mitch Darlington before the ball game tonight, I said, hey, that guy was absolutely dominant last week. What's the approach this week to try to counter that? And he said, we got to be more aggressive. We were way too lackadaisical at the plate, letting pitches go by. So here he is, Trevor Moore's first delivery at the bottom of the first, and that sails over the head of Cade Martinez. Hello. 1-0 the count to Cade. Martinez batting .302, has tied with 2 other AppleSox legends as far as multi-hit games. He's got 20 multi-hit games this summer. That ties the mark that has been set twice before by AppleSox pitchers. This pitch is a cold strike by our home plate umpire, Gabe Norbert. So the count even to Martinez at 1 ball and 1 strike. Senior out of University of San Diego with 29 ribbies on the summer, hoping to figure out a way to get aboard here, tie this ball game up. Pitch swung on and hit in the air, but foul and out of play on the first base side, so the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Game 2 tomorrow night in Bellingham at Joe Martin Field. You can search Bellingham Bells. You want to get your tickets. Highly encourage that. Bellingham's stadium is a beautiful spot, looking off to the west towards Puget Sound, Bellingham Bay. 1-2 the count here to Martinez. That game, by the way, tomorrow night at 6:35. This pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, the Mariners home tonight against Tampa Bay. First of a 3-game weekend series. Mariners pretty hot lately. Trail in the American League West heading into tonight by just a, game and a half? Is that what it is? Yeah, behind Houston coming into tonight. Cade back in, the 1-2 pitch to him, swung on and fisted to the left side. In on the ball is the shortstop. Beautiful play by Aiden Aguayo. He'll straighten and throw for the out, so 1 out for the AppleSox brings up Cam Hoyland. Also keep an eye on what's happening in the playoffs here tonight. 3 other games that are happening here in the playoffs across the West Coast League this evening. You've got Corvallis at Bend. That is in the bottom of the first, and Corvallis strikes early. Knights get 3 runs in their first at bat, lead at 3-0. Heading into the bottom of the first. Edmonton at Victoria tonight leads at 2-0. That's in the top of the second. This pitch is swung on, and the line drive right back to the mound. Beautiful play by the pitcher. Just Trevor Morris says, yeah, that's nothing. That was a shot. Unfortunately, goes right back. And how many times have we seen that, not only in a baseball season, but especially when it comes time for the playoffs, for those balls just to be in the wrong spot. Right hit, wrong spot. Izzy Mondriaga, who has just been fantastic, he should be a first-teamer all West Coast League this summer. We'll see about that. He hasn't been around for very long, but he's batting .350 on the summer. First pitch he'll take for a ball. 1-0 the count here to Mondriaga. Senior from Lewis and Clark State, 6 foot, 185 pounds, batting .350 on the summer for the AppleSox. Pitch here swung on and hit to the right side, and that ball's caught. Diving play out there by Noah Muffert. And as it turns out, the AppleSox are going to be up and out 1-2-3 here in their part of the first inning. We'll head to the second with Bellingham on top 1-0. You're watching the West Coast League North Division playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel tonight, here for this Finally Friday. And the only game we got happening here in North Central Washington after tonight. It all goes quiet. We all turn our attention to the fall sports season. I was over in Seattle last night for the Seahawks' first preseason game as I produced the Seahawks radio network broadcast for the preseason. And turns out to be a tie. I know. It's no overtime in the preseason anymore, and they don't want people getting hurt. So as a result, if it's tied at the end of regulation, that's where it ends. And that was the case last night with Seattle and the Raiders finishing with a 23-23 tie. This one will go extra, I promise, if it gets there. This has to be determined. It has to be settled here tonight. Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. Nate Kirkpatrick leads it off here against Evan Canfield, and his off-speed pitch is a little outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Kirkpatrick, a 6 foot, 215-pound junior from Virginia Commonwealth, batting .279 for the Bells this summer. Canfield's 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2. Mariners and Tampa Bay. That game is underway in Seattle. The Rays have an early lead, 1-0, as they head to the bottom of the second at T-Mobile Park. 2-0 pitch by Canfield inside and hits the batter. So a leadoff man aboard here for Bellingham. So Evan Canfield does not have his normal stuff here. Gave up back-to-back base hits in the first, struck out a batter. They had a sacrifice fly by Blake Bowles to score Bellingham's lone run. Bells would leave a couple of men on the base paths in that first inning on a fly out to right field to end it. Now a hit batsman to Nate Kirkpatrick, and Evan Canfield will face Noah Figured. Figured out of Edmonds Community College, batting .282 on the summer, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore from Edmonds. First pitch to him, he'll square to bunt, take the pitch, curveball misses low, as charging in from third base was Cade Martinez. 1-0 the count here to Figured. Other game tonight, it's Marion Berries at home tonight, hosting Portland. How about the Marion Berries? A new team in the West Coast League. bunt attempt here is bouncing off the plate and then came up and hit the batter.
He left the box. That's an out.
The coach for the AppleSox, Mitch Darlington, saying that's an out because he hit the ball out of the batter's box, which is true. The last place the ball hit before it went in the air and hit the batter sounded like the plate, but may not have been. So 1-1 the count to Figured here as he's back in the right-handed batter's box to see if he squares the bunt again. Man with number 1 on his back will square the bunt. Canfield was going to throw over to the bag at first. Close play over there, but not in time. Leadoff man aboard is Kirkpatrick with a short lead over there at first base. Again, here in summer collegiate baseball, there's no maximum amount of times that the pitcher can throw over to first base. Pitch on the way to the plate, squared the bunt, popped it up. Third baseman catches it. Beautiful job by Cade Martinez. Gold glover, if you will, for the AppleSox, both at shortstop and at third base here. The pop bunt. He was straddling the foul line. That could have been a foul ball had he let it go, but I mean, he's right there. Why not catch it for the out? So he does. So a pop out to first base on the bunt attempt, or to third base, that is. Brock Sell, the number 9 hitter, will now step up. Center fielder batting .247 on the summer. So Bellingham can't get the bunt done, and the pitch on the way is in there for a strike on the off speed. 0-1 to Brock Sell. 6'1", 185-pound freshman from Stanford. He strikes out a lot. He also walks a lot. 37 walks on the summer and 40 strikeouts for the man at the plate right here. Evan Canfield will love to get strikeout number 2. 0-1 the count to him. Canfield with a deliberate now throw over to the bag at first, and no tag applied by Evan Cloyd over there. Oh, 0-1 count to Brock Sell in the left-handed batter's box, all the way towards the back of the box. In fact, his left foot is on the back line of that left-handed batter's box. Runner from first goes. The pitch swung on a grounded to Madriaga. His only play is to first, and they'll get the sure out there. So 4-3 on the putouts. Down to second base on the play goes Kirkpatrick, and back to the top of the order for shortstop Aiden Aguayo. Aguayo scored the game's only run in the first after he got aboard on a base hit over the shortstop Elijah DePlaio out to Jihi Lee out there in left field. And then scored on the sacrifice fly by Blake Balls. Runner in scoring position again here for Bellingham. Second frame in a row they have a runner in scoring position as Kirkpatrick's at second base. Pitch on the way. Again, another hit batsman. Goodness. Pitch came inside and hit Aguayo on the shoulder, so he'll head down to first base. Runners at first and second now, brings up Gavin Long. One of those games where every out is so important and every free pass could result in disaster. Canfield will try to shrug this off. Pitch on the way is a little outside for a ball to Gavin Long. 1-0 the count. Gavin tried to lay down a bunt. He did, right back towards the mound. Catcher Kanoa Morisaki came out to field it. Throw to first base a little bit low. Couldn't be dug out over there by Evan Cloyd. I gave Long a infield base hit on the bunt. Looks like they have done that on the scoreboard as well. Second pitch in to Gavin Long, misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count to a man who is very dangerous at the plate. Although left-hander with the wind blowing in slightly from right field here at the ballpark tonight. 2-0 the count to him with 2 outs in the inning. Runners at first and second stay. The pitch on the way is missing, I guess, outside again. And the count goes to 3-0 on Gavin Long. Well, you've got your whole stable of pitchers fairly well rested for both teams as the season wrapped up on Wednesday. Had yesterday off and now ready to go today. Of course, Coach Mitch Darlington hoping that Evan Canfield will be able to get him 5 innings at least here tonight. This pitch is in there for a called strike, even though Gavin Long thought it was ball 4. And the count goes to 3-1. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for Game 1 of the best of 3 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. So Kirkpatrick out at second base. He got aboard being hit by a pitch. So too is Aguayo at first. Pitch on the way. Inside and low for ball 4. So now the bases are loaded for the second inning in a row here for Bellingham. You got a contact hitter coming to the plate in Andrew Lamb, and you're going to have Morisaki come out along with Quincy Vassar as well as the rest of the infield to talk about what they want to do here defensively and what Evan Canfield might be doing here as far as his mechanics are concerned. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part tonight by Apple Valley Honda. Test drive a new Honda today at Apple Valley Honda. They're in East Wenatchee, committed to preserving the environment not only with fuel-efficient vehicles, but also with other eco-friendly actions and alternatives. Also by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aquatherapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics, all you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Happy Finally Friday. It's the 8th of August, 2025. Nice day here in the Wenatchee Valley. Fairly cool temperatures for this time of year. Normally, we're tickling the triple digits about now. Sounds like we might be up there by Sunday, as this series will move to Bellingham tomorrow, and if necessary, Game 3 Sunday in Bellingham as well. Andrew Lamb, base hit for him in the first, and the first pitch to us popped up behind home plate. Morisaki looks for it, but it goes just behind the netting here behind home plate. Foul ball, strike 1. Lamb with a base hit past the diving Izzy Madriaga. Madriaga out there on the grass at second base and kind of hedging his bat over towards the first baseline. He's in shallow right field right now. 0-1 the count to Andrew Lamb with the bases jammed. Pitch on the way, curveball, misses for ball 1. Fans here at Paul Thomas wanted that to be called a strike. By the way, there are quite a few Bellingham fans here that made the trip to cheer on the Bells tonight. Good to see them here, and hopefully we'll get some AppleSox fans to go over to Bellingham tomorrow. I'll tell you, there's a worse place you can spend an afternoon or an evening. I don't know many better spots than at Joe Martin Field in Bellingham. 1-1 the count. The pitch on the way misses outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count here to Gavin Long. It has been a struggle bus, as they say, for Mr. Canfield here so far for the Wenatchee AppleSox. The junior from Lewis and Clark State trying to find the metal to get out of the inning. 2-1 count, and the pitch by Canfield to Lamb. Swung on and fouled back, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Canfield got a strikeout looking in the first. Would just dearly love a strikeout here with the bases loaded, and that could jack up the offense on the other side for the Wenatchee AppleSox. I know it would certainly jack up the fans here. Lamb back in the left-handed batter's box. Canfield, right-hander on the mound, working from the stretch. Deep breath out, pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back again. A lot of pitches thrown here in 2 innings by Canfield. They do have a right-hander warming up down in the bullpen, does Wenatchee. Canfield back and ready with a count 2-2 to Lamb. Bases full of Bells. Pitch swung on and fouled away. He just tried to stay alive on that one as it goes towards the Pepsi Picnic Pavilion here at the ballpark. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, I wanted to thank, there was some AppleSox host family here today that were hosting a little pre-game barbecue and fed as many players as wanted to go over and grab something over on the first base dugout. They also fed our crew here tonight, so big thank you to them for that. This pitch misses high and away for a ball. 3-2 the count. They made me a dog even, so I had my Seattle dog before the game tonight with caramelized onions and cream cheese. Oh, goodness. Yeah, good stuff. 3-2 count. No place to put Lamb on the base paths, and the pitch by Canfield swung on and fouled away again. Spoiling it is Andrew Lamb. So the Marion Berries, new franchise in the playoffs, and they lead Portland at home tonight 1-0. Boy, the Pickles have been something this summer. They tied Ridgefield for the most wins in a season by a West Coast League team this summer with 43. Here comes the 3-2 pitch again, swung on a fly ball. It's going to be in for a base hit, going to score 2. The right fielder coming up with the ball, and Noah Fields will fire it in, and Bellingham leads it 3-0. Runners were going on the 3-2 pitch, so scoring easily is Kirkpatrick. Also coming home to score was Aguayo. Winding up at third on the play was Gavin Long. So give a couple of RBIs to Andrew Lamb. And that'll be it tonight for Evan Canfield, as Mitch Darlington will make the walk to the mound and bring out a fresh arm, as it does not go Canfield's way, nor the AppleSox here to start this game tonight. But we got a long way to go. We'll tell you who the reliever is coming in when we come back after this 60-second timeout. 2 outs in the second inning. Bellingham leading it 3-0. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
New pitcher into the ballgame for the Wenatchee AppleSox. I'm sure that Mitch Darlington would love to use him tomorrow in a start, but no, Easton Brooks will come in, a 6'4", 195-pound sophomore from Utah Tech. He's got a 2-1 record this summer with a 2.33 earned run average. He is making his 13th appearance for the AppleSox. He also has 1 save, by the way, in 38 2/3 innings. Has given up 45 hits, has struck out 43 and walked 14. So by far the strikeout leader on the ball club. Now just trying to find out to get a way to get this final out here in the second inning. It began with a hit batsman and 2 hit batsmen come home to score. We talk about those free passes and how they can be devastating. Well, so far that's the case for Wenatchee defensively, as Evan Canfield lasts an inning and 2/3, and that's it. He's given up the 3 and responsible for the 2 on the base paths right now. So it is Easton Brooks taking over. Right-hander will check over his shoulder at the runner at first base as Noah Cassie comes to the plate, and the first pitch by Brooks on the way. Swung on a chopped off the plate towards shortstop. Only plays at first. Throw to first base in time. Beautiful play by Elijah Palaio to get the out. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Easton Brooks does his job, but Bellingham gets 2 runs without the benefit of many more than 1 base hit. In fact, just 1 hit. They leave 2. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Bellingham Bells lead at 3-0. It's the West Coast League North Division playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Well, the AppleSox with some work to do here as they trail at 3-0. But the good news in for Sox fans is the bottom of the second here at home this summer has been the inning the AppleSox have contributed most. In fact, 45 runs here at home in the bottom of the second inning this summer. Actually, 45 overall in the second inning. Here at home, they've scored 38 of those 45 runs in the second frame. So hoping for good things here as Evan Cloyd, Elijah Palaio, and Jihi Lee will come to the plate here to face Trevor Moore, who set the AppleSox up and down, three down in the first inning. So Wenatchee looking for their first safe hit of the night. By the way, you go back to a Friday ago between my broadcast partner Brandon Schmidt and I, we only had the AppleSox for one hit in that game. The scorebook gave them 2 hits, but we had that as an error in our book. So they were held to just 1 hit last week against the starter Trevor Moore and the relievers for Bellingham on that particular night. First pitch to Evan Cloyd, misses for a ball. 1-0 the count here to Cloyd in the right-handed batter's box. Pitch to him, swung on a miss, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Cloyd's only played 18 games for the AppleSox this summer, but he's made it count. .365 batting average with 16 RBI. The senior from Cal State Bakersfield at 6'1", 210 pounds. Watches the next pitch come inside. Oh, strike called. Cloyd spun away from it like it almost hit him, but the umpire calls a strike, so 1-2 the count here to Evan Cloyd. Again, playoff baseball, we've got a 3-man crew working this one here tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. 1-2 pitch on the way by Moore. Swung on and chopped back over the mound towards the shortstop. It's a tough play, but making it is Aguayo. So 6-3 on the putout. That's the second putout here by Aguayo here in the ballgame. 1 out for the AppleSox brings up Elijah Palaio. So you got Aguayo, the shortstop, on one side, and Palaio, the shortstop, on the other side. Elijah, a 5'11", 165-pound senior from Cal State Bakersfield, batting .293 on the summer for the AppleSox in just 15 games since joining the team just a few weeks ago. Pitch on the way to him is missing low. 1-0 the count to Palaio. Wenatchee's outscored their opponents on the average of 8-5 here at home this summer. Pitch is swung on and missed, and the count evens to Palaio at 1-1. They have been very close on the road this summer. 5.6 runs for the AppleSox, 5.2 runs for the opposition. This pitch is turning to bunt was Palaio. He'll take the pitch. It's a called strike, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here on Elijah. Right-handed hitter back in the box. Trevor Moore shakes the first sign from Blake Balls. Shakes it again. Watch for junk here. Pitch on the way is inside and high, and the count evens to Palaio at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening with the Mariners at home tonight as this pitch misses low for ball 3, so the count runs full to Palaio. Good eye there at 3-2. AppleSox just trying to get a base runner here. Trailing at 3-0 to Bellingham, game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. Here comes the full count pitch on the way by Trevor Moore. Swung on a fly ball to right field. Backing up just a tad out there is Noah Meffert, and he'll make the catch for the out. So 2 outs for the AppleSox. First 5 in a row retired by Trevor Moore tonight. That'll bring up Jihi Lee. So Jihi Lee, 5'10", 185-pound junior from Cal State Northridge, batting .275 for the summer for the AppleSox, with 25 runs and 23 walks. He's a guy you like to get on the base paths, but nobody out there right now, and 2 outs in the inning. Pitch on the way by Moore. Swung on a miss by Jihi Lee, and the count 0-1 to Mr. Lee. Bellingham raced out to a first half win in the West Coast League North Division this summer. This pitch is missing for a ball, evens the count to Lee at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wenatchee looked like they were firmly going to just take that first half title, but then hit a bump in the road. Towards the latter portion of that first half, Bellingham caught and surpassed Wenatchee to take the first half title. Swing and a miss here by Lee, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Hefty fastball there from Trevor Moore. And the advantage with that first half title, doesn't matter what happens to you in the second half of your summer schedule, you are the number 1 seed. So that's the case for Bellingham coming into tonight with the record at 32 and 20. Was it 32 and 21? Let me check that schedule, or this. Yeah, 33 and 21 for the Bells this summer. So they didn't play nearly as good in the second half as they did in the first half, but already had secured that number 1 seed. Lee still alive with a count to ball and 2 strikes to him, with nobody aboard for the AppleSox, trailing at 3-0. Pitch by Moore on the way is just missing outside for a ball. 2-2 the count to Lee. So Pelayo worked the base, or worked the count full. That's the first full count batter of the night for Trevor Moore. 2-2 the count here, and the pitch on the way to Lee, barely getting a piece of that fastball, and fouling it back was Ji-Hee Lee. So the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Moore looking in for the sign from his catcher, Blake Balls. They have not been on agreement on many pitches here so far in the ballgame. Pitch on the way, swung on a miss, so gone on the strikeout is Ji-Hee Lee. And it's been a 6-up, 6-down story here for Trevor Moore, dominating once again here against the Wenatchee AppleSox. We'll head to the third frame. Bellingham leading at 3-0. You're watching the West Coast League North Division playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Yep. Blake Balls, Noah Meffert, and Nate Kirkpatrick due up here for the Bellingham Bells, and they're part of the third inning as it's a 3-0 lead for the Bells. AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. For all your real estate needs in Central Washington, call them up at 509-888-8887. That's 509-888-8887. Also by Global Car Care, your vehicle is their number 1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pickup and drop-off available too. Stop by their website at globalcarcare.net. 3-0 our score in this one. Let's catch you up to date on what else is going on across the West Coast League playoffs tonight in the South Division. Bend now has struck for 3 runs, and so they are tied 3-3 with Corvallis. This pitch is going to be scooped over to first base. Oh, what a play by Madriaga. That ball died on the grass. All he had the opportunity to do was scoop it with the glove and shoveled it over to Evan Cloyd at first base, and they're in time to get the out. 1 pitch and 1 out for Easton Brooks. So he's throwing 2 pitches and has 2 outs in relief of Evan Canfield. That'll bring up Noah Meffert. Meffert, right fielder, flew out to right in the first inning. First pitch he'll take for a strike. 0-1 the count. Easton Brooks again working in relief here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. And the pitch on the way by the right-hander is in for a called strike, and the count quickly 0-2 on Meffert. So Bend and Corvallis all tied at 3-3. That's in the top of the third. Also in the South Division tonight, Portland's on the road at Marionberries and have scored a couple of runs now in the top of the fourth. They lead it 2-1 over Marionberries. The 0-2 pitch swung on, a line drive caught by first baseman Evan Cloyd, reaching up for the elevator catch. And the outs. Put a star next to that one by Evan Cloyd. So 2 defensive gems in a row, and that'll bring up Nate Kirkpatrick. Hit by a pitch to lead off the second, would come around and score on the 2-run single by Andrew Lamb. Bellingham scored a run in the first on a sacrifice fly RBI, and then added 2 more in the second. That's where we are right now, 3-0. Pulling the string on that one was Easton Brooks. Way out in front was Kirkpatrick in the count 0-1 on the Bells' third baseman. Brooks ready, and Easton's 0-1 pitch. Off speed, outside, missing for a ball. 1-1 the count. In the North Division tonight, aside from this game right here, you've got Edmonton, and Victoria. So far, the Riverhawks shutouts lead 3-0. That's in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch here swung on and missed. Again, out in front of that off-speed pitch by Easton Brooks, and the count 1-2. Brooks trying to get his first strikeout in relief here. Close the book on Canfield. He goes an inning and 2/3, 3 runs, 4 hits, all earned. He walked a batter, hit 2, and struck out 1. 1-2 the count here as Easton Brooks delivers. Pitch swung on and chopped off the plate to second baseman Madriaga. A little bit easier play this time for Izzy. And a 1-2-3 story for the Bells in the top of the third. To the bottom of the third we go. 3-0 Bells on top. It's the West Coast League North Division Championships here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Coverage of AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Harvest Valley Pest Control. Living healthy, local, and pest-free. You can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate. Call 509-423-2201. Excuse me, 07. There you go. 509-423-2207. Still getting used to bifocals here, folks. I don't know if anybody has recently gone to the stage in their life where cheaters no longer get it for you. Yeah, so glasses to see the field, and then you got the bifocals underneath, and bifocals aren't really what my readers were, so it's a little bit of a challenge. Bottom of the order due up here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. Noah Fields, Kanoa Morisaki, and Theo Kim. And if you're Wenatchee right now, maybe look for somebody to bunt themselves aboard. Let's look where the third baseman is. Nate Kirkpatrick is playing deep at third base as you got Noah Fields stepping up. He's got some speed, so maybe a little bunt up the third baseline. Got to get a base runner here. Trailing at 3-0 to the Bellingham Bells, and Trevor Moore has just been dominant. This pitch, how about just swing away? And this one is going to be caught, unfortunately, by Brock Sell out there in center field. So 1 pitch and 1 out. The AppleSox certainly have been a little more aggressive in this approach to Trevor Moore, but still the result about the same as Kanoa Morisaki will step up. Kanoa is batting .233 on the summer, and that's really improved here from just several weeks ago where he was down in the 100s. Now well above the Mendoza line for the junior out of Cal State Bakersfield. He'll watch the first pitch go all the way to the backstop. And the count 1-0 here to Morisaki. Morisaki as a catcher also little dangerous on the base paths. He's got 4 stolen bases this summer for Wenatchee. Pitch on the way to him, swung on and fouled, and the count's 1-1 to Morisaki. Mariners and Tampa Bay, they're through 4 in Seattle, and the Rays leading it 1-0. Luis Castillo getting the start for Seattle tonight. Pitch here bounces in for a ball. 2-1 the count to Morisaki. Theo Kim waiting on deck for Wenatchee. AppleSox, no runs, no hits, no errors. Haven't had a base runner yet. Against Trevor Moore. He shakes off again the sign from Blake Balls. Right-hander's pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. It'll count even to Morisaki at 2-2. Trevor Moore definitely has a way that he likes to pitch and a style in which he likes to bring it. He'll again shake a sign off from Blake Balls. And the right-hander's 2-2 pitch on the way. He is missing low with that fastball. 3-2 the count. Moore with 1 strikeout, trying to retire his 8th batter in a row. Pitch on the way. Swung on a miss, and he did it. So 2nd strikeout of the game here for Trevor Moore. 2 outs for the AppleSox in the 3rd. That'll bring up the DH, Theo Kim. Sophomore from UC Irvine, 6'2", 200-pounder, will step in the left-handed batter's box, batting .239 on the summer for the AppleSox. Again, surprised that they've not tried to drop a bunt down here. But we also saw last Friday that Trevor Moore, and we saw earlier in this game on a line out right back to him, that he can certainly field his position. Kim in, Moore ready, pitch on the way, check swing, but he went around. Let's see. No, third base umpire says he did not. Oh my. 1-0 the count as Theo Kim gets a break there. Back to the top of the order, Cade Martinez waiting on deck here for the AppleSox. Trailing Bellingham 3-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Hefty fastball from Trevor Moore. 1 ball and 1 strike. They list him at 6'1" and 218. It's about right. Junior out of Stanford with a pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Theo Kim stands between 1 pitch and Trevor Moore, and getting through the AppleSox order in order. 9 up, 9 down. 1-2 the count to Kim. The pitch on the way. Swung on a miss. Ball in the dirt, so the catcher will throw down to first base. And K2-3 on the putout. And Wenatchee tired in order here as Trevor Moore, again, just dominant here tonight. We'll take a break, come back, get you ready for the 4th inning of play. Bellingham leads at 3-0. It's AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Number 8, 9, and 1 batters due up here for the Bells in their part of the 4th inning, with Bellingham leading at 3-0 here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast of AppleSox baseball brought to you in part by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament or event today. Call the Pro Shop and schedule your tee time at 509-884-4653. Not too early to plan ahead for your Christmas holiday company parties, too. And their widescreen golf simulators, they got cool games in there too, by the way. Call 509-884-4653 for the Highlander. Easton Brooks continues to pitch here for the Wenatchee AppleSox as he has come in and retired the first 4 hitters he has faced in relief. Pitch here is a little inside for ball 1 to Noah Figured. 1-0 the counts. Bunt pop out to the third baseman by Figured back in the second. As Bellingham got a leadoff man aboard by getting hit by a pitch. Pitch here is in there for a strike. And the count even to Figured at 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're wondering about that name, by the way, for the Bellingham Bells, it is Figured. 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 Kind of figured you would guess on whether or not I was pronouncing it correctly. Well, you figured wrong. 2-1 the count to Noah Figured here for the Bells, and the pitch on the way is bouncing in for a ball. So the first time that Easton Brooks in relief has gone to a 3-ball count here. It's 3-1 to Figured to lead it off here in the 4th. Bellingham started the first 2 innings with the leadoff man aboard, and sure enough, that leadoff man came around to score both times. Pitch here, swung on and a fly ball laced to right field, right at Noah Fields out there. So an out recorded. By the way, I was talking about how odd it is that we have so many Noahs in the game here tonight. There's Noah Fields out in right field for the AppleSox. Also for Bellingham, they got Noah Cassie, who's the first baseman, and Noah Meffert in right field. This is Brock Sell. First pitch to him is in for a strike, and the count 0-1 to Brock, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second in the second. Nice little play there by Izzy Madriaga. 0-1 the count here to Sell. Nobody aboard for the Bells. Pitch on the way, right down the middle for a called strike. 0-2 to Brock Sell. We talked about how he has struck out a lot this season. 40 times he has whiffed. And Easton Brooks trying to make that happen again here by the Bells center fielder. Easton takes a long time between pitches this time around. And this one is strike 3 called. Gone looking is Brock Sell. And a little mental game there maybe by Easton Brooks. Just taking his time and kind of getting the timing off by Brock Sell. So 2 up, 2 down for the Bells. Back to the top of the order for Aiden Aguayo. Aiden has scored 2 of Bellingham's 3 runs tonight. Base hit in the first, scored on a sacrifice fly, and then was hit by a pitch and scored on a 2-run single. Pitch here is a strike called. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Bellingham leading Wenatchee 3-0 here in Game 1 of the best of 3 West Coast League North Division playoffs. The 0-1 pitch, bouncing in for a ball, 1-1 to count. Good idea by Brooks there, trying to get the batter to chase. Hit refresh on my screen here and get an update for you on some of the other playoff games going on. They're in the bottom of the 3rd in Bend tonight, where the Elks and Corvallis Knights are all tied at 3-3. Pitch here swung on and a fly ball, and to the right side now to play. So the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Aguayo. Portland leading at Marionberries tonight in Chemeketa Stadium. Top of the 5th there is 2-1. Portland with 43 wins on the summer. Unbelievable. Pitch swung on and missed, and there you go. A 3 up, 3 down story for Easton Brooks and the Bellingham Bells here. So he has retired since he came in relief. 7 batters in a row. Got a little pitching duel going on here, but Bellingham's been spotted 3 to start the game. That's where we are as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bells on top 3-0. It's AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Welcome back here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as the AppleSox trail the Bellingham Bells by a score of 3-0. As it's back to the top of the order for the AppleSox here in the bottom of the fourth. Cade Martinez, Cam Hoyland, and Izzy Madriaga will have the task of trying to figure out this guy on the mound who's been unfigurable so far. Going along with our figured theme tonight. Our broadcast brought to you by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses, they're building communities. Buying or selling? Call Kennedy Real Estate Group today. They're online at kennedygroup.com. That's spelled K-E-N-A-D-Y group.com. So here they go. Trevor Moore, 9 up, 9 down as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Pitch to Cade Martinez, off speed, across for a strike, 0-1 the count. Cade grounded out to shortstop Aiden Aguayo back in the first. AppleSox had put the ball in play tonight, just right at bodies. Pitch here swung on and fouled at the plate, and it counts 0-2. Cam Hoyland, Izzy Madriaga also due up here in the fourth for Wenatchee. With ballpark just got still here. Wind was freshening from right field earlier, but now it's just still. This pitch is strike three called. Gone looking is Cade Martinez on 3 pitches. 1 out here in the fourth. That strikeout is the 4th of the ball game by Trevor Moore. So the AppleSox faced Moore back just a week ago. He went 5 innings. Our book said he only gave up 1 hit. The official scorebook gave him 2. He struck out 3 on the night and walked 1 in his 19 batters faced. Prior to that, against Victoria, he took a loss going 5 innings, allowing 2 runs. This pitch misses outside for a ball. Those 2 runs came on 3 hits against Victoria. At Kamloops, a no decision went 4 innings, allowed 3 runs on 4 hits. So he is hittable. Wenatchee just finally figured out a way to do that. So only, in our books, the 2nd hit by the AppleSox off of Trevor Moore in the last week. It comes with 1 out here in the 4th, and that breaks up the no-no, and that also breaks up what had been a perfect game to that point by Trevor Moore. So the AppleSox finally have a base runner on the paths as Izzy Madriaga, the hottest hitter for the AppleSox, steps up after lining out to right in the first. Runner at first base means the first baseman will have to hold him on, so there's a hole in the right side of the infield here for Madriaga. Runner at first fakes a run and pitches across for a strike. 0-1 to count to Izzy. Blake Bowles jumped out of his crouch as that ball came to him and looked down towards first base, maybe thinking of a throw down there. Cam Hoyland with the base hit for the AppleSox over there at first. 0-1 the count to Madriaga. And they got the pickoff move at first, now a rundown, and the runner going to be safe at second base. How about that? The shortstop, Aguayo, came in to cover, but he was not in the base pass, so Cam Hoyland with a heads-up play just kept on running towards second base, and he slides in head first safely. So that'll go down as a stolen base. AppleSox now with a runner in scoring position. All it takes is 1. That could lead to more. Could open the faucet here in the 4th. Madriaga with the count 0-1 to him, and the pitch by Moore on the way. Bounces in for a ball. Good eye by Izzy. And the count evens at 1-1 strike. Cam Hoyland, beautiful job on the base pass there as he looked like dead to rights as the pitcher. Beautiful move over to the bag at first. But then the throw from Noah Cassie goes to Aguayo. And he was off the bag on the third base side of second base. And Cam Hoyland just kept chugging and is able to get the stolen base. Swing and a miss here on a pitch in the dirt by Madriaga. He was fooled on that one, so the count in favor of the pitcher, Trevor Moore, had a ball at 2 strikes. Hoyland with a shallow lead from the bag at second. And the 1-2 pitch on the way by Moore. Swung on and chopped off the plate to the right side. First baseman over will field and throw to Moore covering the bag. The out recorded. Meanwhile, down to third goes Cam Hoyland. So 3-1 on the putout on Madriaga for the second out. That'll bring up Evan Cloyd. Well, the AppleSox scored their only run a week ago against Bellingham on the attempt of a hidden ball trick with a runner at third base. The third baseman at the time, Nate Kirkpatrick, who is also at third now, after a play to the left side of the infield, kept the ball in his hand instead of getting it back to the pitcher. The runner at the time for the AppleSox, as this pitch is low and in the dirt to Evan Cloyd, 1-0 the count. Runner at third took his lead, and then the third baseman, Kirkpatrick, came over and tagged him, saying that he was out. Well, unfortunately for Bellingham, the pitcher was on the mound at the time without the baseball, and so that goes down as a balk. Pitch here misses low for ball 2. So Wenatchee scored its only run in the bottom of the 9th inning last Friday, falling 5-1 to Bellingham. AppleSox would come back the next night for a 1-run win and then blow up in the 8th inning on the finale on Sunday, giving up 7 runs in the 8th inning and falling 10-5. This pitch high and inside for ball 3 to Evan Cloyd. Elijah Pelayo waiting on deck for Wenatchee, trying to get something going here as they trail at 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 on at third base. 2 outs in the inning, and the pitch by Moore is in there for a strike this time. Count goes to 3-1 on Evan Cloyd. From Cloyd, I'm watching one more pitch, unless it's absolutely the one you want to drive. Pitch on the way. High for a ball, and you might assist Cam Hoyland at third base on that because he broke towards the plate just as Trevor Moore was delivering. And so a 2-out walk here, the first of the ball game by Mr. Moore. And thought for a moment Jim Clem was going to come out to the mound and have a visit with his pitcher, but no, that's not the case. So runners on the corners for Wenatchee with 2 down, brings up Elijah Pelayo. Pelayo flew out to right field in his first at bat. 0 for 1 tonight. Clem roaming around there on the Bellingham side of things. He's got a big notebook in his hands. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on and missed by Pelayo, and the count 0-1. Elijah trying to be aggressive there. Elijah Pelayo worked the only 3-ball count back in that second inning before flying out to right field, and now base hit and a walk in this one. So Trevor Moore showing that he is human. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and badly fooled was Pelayo on that one. Count goes to 0-2. Pelayo looks over towards the dugout area, getting some help from Noah Fields in front of the dugout for the AppleSox. 0-2 pitch by Moore. He's probably going to throw this one in the dirt. Pitch on the way, runner for first goes. The pitch is in the dirt and down to second base. Now walking, thinking maybe it was a foul ball, was Evan Cloyd, but he'll get down to second base on the stolen base. They count a ball and 2 strikes to Pelayo. So 2 runners in scoring position in a 3-0 ball game. If Pelayo could somehow find a gap, he could score 2 runs right here and make this a ball game once again. Trevor Moore comes set. Right-hander doesn't even check the batters. The pitch misses high with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye by Elijah Pelayo. No activity down in the bullpen for Bellingham, as Trevor Moore finally falters a little bit here in this 4th frame after retiring 10 in a row. Pitch on the way. Swung on a miss and gone. Swinging is Pelayo, and that'll do it for the AppleSox here in the 4th inning. They get 2 aboard. They cannot score a run, so we head to the 5th. Bellingham still leading at 3-0 here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need, from top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style. They have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Well, they have several different promotions that happen between the innings here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium and have for a long time. They've had the Condiment Derby, which is a race between ketchup and mustard here at the ballpark. And in this case, they had 2 people that were dressed in ketchup and mustard costumes. And ketchup caught mustard in center field as they ran on the warning track around the outfield fence here. And ketchup battered mustard with what looked to be a baseball bat and left mustard sprawling all over the ground in center field. I think ketchup sauntered on his way towards the finish line. Of course, mustard then pops up, sprints over, chases him down, beats him with the bat, and beats him on the ketchup mustard derby. So mustard a winner once again. Gavin Long sees strike 1 go by his knees from Easton Brooks. As we start off the 5th inning with the second batter in the order here for Ed Nags and the Bellingham Bells. Leading at 3-0 over Wenatchee. Pitch on the way, bounces in for a ball. Evens the count to Long at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bunt single for Long back in the 1st. And a walk in the 2nd. So he's 1 for 1 tonight. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On the way by the big, tall right-hander Easton Brooks. Long, deliberate pause, and the pitch bounces in for a ball. 2-1 the count. Our broadcast of AppleSox baseball here tonight brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just a part of essential safety. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously. Stop by today. 2-1 the count to Long. As dusk settles across the land here in north central Washington. This pitch misses for a ball. 3-1 the count. Mr. Kuntz has sat down beside me here. Go ahead and put those headphones on there, buddy. No bigger baseball fan in our building than Mr. Dan Kuntz, that is for sure. The 3-1 count and pitch on the way to Gavin Long. Swung on at a fly ball to the left side. Jihi Lee calling for it, and he will camp and make the catch for the out. So 1 up, 1 down here for Bellingham. Brings up Andrew Lamb. Lamb is 2 for 2 tonight with a big 2-run single. He has singled twice in the ball game. And Dan Kuntz, you start the game out in center field on our camera out there.
Yeah.
Lovely spot from which to watch the game.
It is. It's a great spot. I did have a rather interesting encounter with a squirrel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Decided to join me for half an inning.
Did it cause you to squirrel, in essence?
It was friendly.
Fly ball here to Jihi Lee. So a couple of putouts for the left fielder for the AppleSox. 2 down here for Bellingham. Brings up Noah Cassie.
Mr. Canfield never did look comfortable out there, did he?
Nope. Just couldn't quite dial it in tonight. Easton Brooks, on the other hand, has been absolutely money since he came in. In fact, he's retired every batter he has faced. 9 batters in a row retired by Easton Brooks.
Picked up where he left off a week ago.
Yeah. Pitch by Brooks here is in there for a strike, and they count 0-1. Love the fact we got a 3-man crew working these games here in the postseason. Just helps out a lot to have those extra eyeballs on the lines here.
Good move by Mitch Darlington to realize that and get him out of the game pretty early.
0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Well, I mean, it's so crucial for the lower seed to get that first game win. When you got that chance to do it at home, you're the home team, so you get the last at bats, all those things. And then you lose that when you go on the road, obviously. 0-2 count here to Cassie, and the pitch on the way, missing low for a ball. 1-2 the count. So what's happening with your Yankees, Dan?
Well, we won
Injuries.
yesterday, but lost 5 in a row. But of course now everybody's a Yankee fan because that's who the Astros are playing this weekend.
Well, that's true.
So
that's true. Oh boy, that's hard.
Probably the 2 most hated teams in Mariner world, right?
Yes.
Astros and Yankees.
Yes.
I would have to say.
1-2 the count. It was interesting last night. This pitch swung on and a fly ball line drive to center field. Going to be scooped up there by Cam Hoyland. So the string of retired in a row here by Easton Brooks, broken up by Noah Cassie. That'll bring up Blake Balls. Interesting being at Lumen Field last night while the Seahawks were taking on the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas now, but I still hate the Raiders. Raiders and Yankees, those were the 2 teams.
I miss the old West, the old AFC West, the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chiefs. Those were some fun times.
Ooh, nice little pickoff move by Easton Brooks over to the bag at first. So, Dan, what's your impression? I mean, you've been around the 25 years now. The AppleSox have had baseball here in North Central Washington. You being a baseball fan, your impressions of summer collegiate baseball?
First of all, the wood bat is, to me, huge.
Yes.
It's a huge thing.
I'll bet you don't even really watch college ball, do you?
I can't stand the ping of the bat. I just can't. I really can't. It's there's certainly it's a talented league.
Pitch here misses low for a ball. 2-0 to count the balls.
And it's pretty well balanced. I mean, every once in a while there'd be a couple of teams that just weren't really competitive. Really hasn't been the case the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, it all depends on the roster, right? Who you have still that can stay when you get to that point of the season where you make the playoffs. Pitch here on the way is a fastball missing for ball 3. So 3-0 the count to Blake Balls.
And that's what Ed Naggs did so well, and that's what Mitch Darlington is doing so well, establishing that pipeline to bring talent up here, making this place a place where kids want to come and play for the summertime. Which is everything. Recruiting is everything.
Having a crowd to show up and cheer you on doesn't hurt, that's for sure. Here comes the 3-0 pitch on the way, and this one's in for a strike. 3-1 the count here to Balls with 2 outs, runner aboard, 3-0 Bellingham lead.
This is a very good crowd tonight.
Yeah, well, I hope so. It's the last game they're going to get a chance to see all summer. 3-1 the count to Blake Balls here, and the pitch on the way, swung on and grounded through the right side. No, Izzy Mondrigo knocks it down, throws to first. It's
nice play.
Wow, I thought sure that was going to get through the hole, but Izzy Mondriaga is able to retire the final out here of the 5th. They leave a man aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. AppleSox need to get going. They trail it 3-0 here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and any app. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated, home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. Speaking of which, being over on the west side the last couple of days, I couldn't believe how many all-electric vehicles there are on the freeway over there. Of course, everybody's going nowhere fast.
Yeah, really.
But it's unbelievable how many electric vehicles there are in Western Washington.
How was traffic? You had the Mariners had a day game.
Oh, it was
Seahawks
ridiculous.
And Lady Gaga had a concert going on.
Yeah, thankfully I was able to. I had to check out of my hotel. They put me up in Renton at the landing there, which is ridiculous. I don't need a room like that. I was
yes, you do.
I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep.
Was
hardly.
that nice?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Oh.
I looked at the bill that the Seahawks paid for. $668 for that room for one night.
You're right. You ain't worth it.
It was overlooking Lake Washington. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And here I am all by myself. But I had to check out of the hotel at noon, so the game didn't start. Our pregame didn't start till 5 o'clock. So I had a lot of time. So I just went over and made my way to the ballpark. And sure enough, of course, the Mariners started at 1 o'clock. I got to the stadium right about first pitch. So it actually was pretty good timing for me. But I had it easy. I was coming in on I-90 there right to the stadium as that works out. Everybody else trying to get north and south on I-5. It was a mess. Swing and a miss here as the AppleSox bring Ji-Hee Lee up to start off the fifth inning, trailing it 3-0 here to Bellingham. Game one of the best of three here between the Bells and AppleSox in the West Coast League North Division playoffs.
If I remember correctly, last Friday he went 5 innings before they went to the bullpen.
Yep.
So this is a key inning for the AppleSox here.
Pitch on the way, swung on and lifted down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. The right fielder comes up with the ball. Noah Meffert. But not before the AppleSox, for the first time tonight, get the leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up Noah Fields. I was mentioning you were probably making your way from center field over to here, but it's odd for me. There are 3 Noahs in the game tonight.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised it's not raining.
One aboard for the AppleSox brings up Noah Fields. He is the only Noah for the AppleSox. There are 2 Noahs for Bellingham here tonight. Pitch swung on a chop slowly towards the shortstop. Only play will be to first base, and making it is Aguayo. So they do get the out there. Meanwhile, down to second goes Ji-Hee Lee, 6-3 on the putouts. And that'll bring up Kanoa Morisaki.
Something came out of his back pocket there when he slid into second base. Not sure what.
Well, he's looking down at that oven mitt they wear now to work the base paths. Pack of gum.
Something.
Looks
whatever it is,
metallic.
It amused the third base umpire.
Yeah, Mitch Darlington has it, and he'll hand it to one of his players. He'll put. I'm glad it wasn't a cell phone or something like that. 1 on, 1 out for the AppleSox, and Kanoa Morisaki steps up. Pitch on the way to him by Trevor Moore. By the way, there is a right-hander warming up down on the bullpen here for Bellingham. This pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Wenatchee finally got to Trevor Moore back in the 4th. Got 2 aboard but could not score a run.
I'm assuming Bellingham is heading home tonight. Obviously, win or lose, they're going to be heading home tonight. No reason to stay in town.
No. It's at about a 3.5-hour drive on the bus. Good to see Ed Nags before the ball game
Always
again
good to
tonight.
see Ed. Yep, he still throws BP.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he got his arm surgically repaired after he left Wenatchee, and finally got that taken care of. But of course, I see him down in the dugout. I'm down there to get the lineup for Bellingham, and he comes up and he says, "Coach's corner coming down in 3, 2, 1." As we used to do that during his time when I was on the radio doing the broadcast here for the AppleSox. Still unbelievable the run he did last year prior to the season start, and tying in the AppleSox with that. That was a very cool move by Mr. Nags.
Raised a lot of dough for a very good cause.
Yes. 1-0 the count here to Morisaki. Conversation on the mound done. Pitch on the way, swung on a miss. Evens the count to Kanoa at 1 ball, 1 strike. So is Judge back? I didn't see. Is he?
He's back. He's DHing only, though.
Okay.
DHing only, yep.
Okay.
Notice they're giving Cal a little more rest, DHing more.
Pitch here swung on a chop to the right side. Second baseman in on the ball. That's a tough play, but making it cleanly is Noah Figured. Meanwhile, down to third base on the play goes Jihi Lee. So the AppleSox again with a runner 90 feet away from pay dirt. 4-3 on the putouts on Borasaki. So 2 outs for the AppleSox, and that'll bring up Theo Kim. You know, it's odd. Just like last Friday night, the breeze started from out to right field, and now I'm feeling it a little bit at our backs here. What's the forecast? I didn't even see the
flag
forecast.
is not moving at all. It is supposed to be a little breezy tonight and into tomorrow morning, but the flag out in center field is limp.
It's not impacting the ball flight at all here. As Theo Kim steps up, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pitch here swung on and missed. 0-1 to count. With that right-hander warming up down to the bullpen, we talked about how Trevor Moore went 5 innings last Friday in the win over Wenatchee. Bet this is going to be his last inning of work as well. 0-1 to count to Kim here, and the pitch on the way swung on and missed. Did you catch the name of the host family that was doing the barbecue before the ball game?
No, but I
talked about that.
They cooked for both teams. Bellingham ate too.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they had them all. They said, we got hot dogs.
That's
and
awesome.
Come eat. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
They fed about half the bells.
0-2 the count. Pitch on the way to Kim is in the dirt for a ball. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. I don't know if you saw it from your center field vantage point, but I was talking about how Trevor Moore has shaken off a lot of signs from his catcher, Blake Bowles, here tonight. I mean, he has an idea before he even gets the ball back of what he wants to throw next. Here comes the 1-2 pitch in the dirt for ball 2.
The only thing I've noticed about Mr. Moore is I don't think he has a changeup.
Yeah, no, it's pretty speedy no matter what. 2-2 the count from the freshman from Stanford. Freshman. Looks like he could be a 36-year-old bachelor playing AA baseball somewhere. 2-2 count here. I have no idea why that came to my head, but the pitch on the way swung on and fouled back, so Kim stays alive at the count. 2 balls.
Yeah, 19-year-olds with a full beard. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'll bet your brother Eric probably passed for older than he actually was.
Yeah, he did. There's some stories of going to certain bars and taverns.
2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll do it here for Theo Kim and the AppleSox in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we are through 5 here in Wenatchee. Head to the top of the 6th up next with Bellingham leading at 3-0. It's the West Coast League North Division playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $2,500.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Some people say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Well, those people have obviously never tried Abby's Big Hawaiian, featuring loads of Canadian bacon and Dole pineapple. Right now at Abby's.com, order this juicy, cheesy, and legendary pizza at a mouth-watering price. Celebrate the summer of good with an Abby's Big Hawaiian.
We entered the top of the 6th. Noah Meffert, Nate Kirkpatrick, and Noah Figured due up here for the Bellingham Bells as they lead it 3-0 over the Wenatchee AppleSox here in the Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. Game 2 in Bellingham tomorrow night. If necessary, Game 3 would be Sunday at Joe Martin Field. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, serving the Wenatchee Valley since 1962. Also by Tacos Chava. You love Tacos Chava in East Wenatchee in the mall. You can have them cater your next event. How about that? Find them on Facebook. Search Tacos Chava East Wenatchee. That's C-H-A-V-A. It's been too long since I've been over to the mall in East Wenatchee.
It's still there.
I tried to avoid malls. Boy, on the west side, you don't go anywhere near a mall for not reasons that you want to even talk about. Easton Brooks back on the mound for the AppleSox, and the first pitch is a little bit outside for a ball to Noah Meffert. 1-0 the count to the right fielder, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out to right and a line out to first baseman Evan Cloyd over there. That was a beautiful play. Pitch on the way here is in the dirt outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Nobody warming up that I could see down in the AppleSox bullpen area. Interesting little thing that happened in the first inning of tonight's game. The third baseman for both teams in the top of the first before the first pitch and in the bottom of the first before the first pitch, the third baseman goes over and shakes the hand of the head coach in the third base coach's box. I thought that was kind of cool. I like that. Well, 3-0 count here.
Between feeding the team and shaking hands, maybe we should be a little more ornery. Maybe we're too good of a host.
Yeah, that was what Coach Mike McDonald was talking about going into the game last night with the Raiders, is that he's changed how they do their pregame warm-ups and stuff, and he doesn't want to be out on the field with the other team. Swing and a miss here, and the count goes full to Meffert at 3-2. So he's warming up the team for 10 minutes, and then they go back to the locker room. So the other team's got the field all to themselves. And he said, I just want them to be out there going, where's the other team? Where are they? Are they here? 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on a chop to the left side. Shortstop in. Will Palaio, and the throw over to first base in time. Good play there. 1 out here in the 6th. Brings up Nate Kirkpatrick. He says, I don't want to stand out there and talk to the other coach. And I thought that was pretty funny.
I wonder if he'll carry that into the regular season.
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. He says there's science that backs it up as far as the warm-up, and then you go down and you cool down in the locker room, then you come back out for the kickoff and things like that. Nate Kirkpatrick will swing at the first pitch, grounded to Palaio. Busy guy at shortstop. This time he'll easily straighten up and throw. 2 outs here for the AppleSox.
Our infield defense has been very good today.
Yes. Noah Figured coming to the plate to pop out on a bunt, and he lined out to right in the 4th. 0 for 2 night for him.
Of course, for these infielders, they're probably loving the new field.
Oh, yes.
It's a night and day.
Well, and you've heard Brandon Schmitten talk about it over and over about the amazing difference it is after they cut the skin down here at the ballpark and replaced it. First pitch here is in for a strike to Noah Figured. 0-1 the count.
Basically the entire infield right down to the studs. Put it right back together again.
Yep.
Which was badly needed.
Yeah, definitely so. I see they still have some water issues that are beyond the artificial surface in foul territory here beyond the dugout. This pitch swung on a hit foul on the third base side.
A few dead spots out in the outfield. You can't probably see them on TV. They're right close to the warning track.
Yeah.
That's really about it.
No, there's too much water. It's down, and of course that's where the spigots are close to for watering the field and things like that.
And they put drainage in, which they did not have before, so it will drain now.
0-2 count here to Figured. And Easton Brooks trying to remain unscathed here in relief. And the pitch is in there for strike 3 called. Gone looking is Figured, and Bellingham gone in order here in the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Wenatchee trails it 3-0 here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Top of the order due up for the AppleSox here in the 6th. Cade Martinez, Cam Hoyland, and Izzy Madriaga. AppleSox on the night just with a couple of hits off of Trevor Moore, who is, let's see, Is that 37 still? Yeah, it is. Okay, Trevor Moore still pitching.
What he is good.
Yeah, he is that for Bellingham. They do have a right-hander that's been warming up for a while down in the bullpen, so we'll see what they'll do here. Jim Clem, by the way, is the pitching coach for Bellingham. He was a long-time high school coach at Burlington Edison, and he coached against me back when I was in high school. That's how long he's been around.
Well, we'll see how long they decide to keep him in. And in spite of all the fact that all of these teams are going for the West Coast League Championship and they all want it, they still have pitch count issues. They still I got to go back to school and play fall ball for my college.
Well, and who knows? I mean, for Trevor Moore, this could be the last outing of the summer for him. Scoring to bunt was Cade Martinez. He takes the pitch for a strike called and the count 0-1.
And all of it from the stretch. You really don't see that too often from a starting pitcher anyway.
Well, and that kind of tells you maybe what they do more so in college ball if they're comfortable with that. Pitch on the way here, swung on and hit back past the mound. Shortstop in on the ball, will field and throw it away. And down to second on the play will go Cade Martinez on the throwing error by Aiden Aguayo. A rare gaffe defensively for Bellingham on the infield. So a big E6. That's a tough play for him anyway.
Yep.
Had he made the throw on line, that would have been fantastic. Hustling up the first baseline was Cade Martinez. So I don't even know if the throw had been on line if he would have got there in time with the throw. So a runner aboard for the AppleSox. Second inning in a row, Wenatchee's had the leadoff man aboard.
I don't think Mitch is going to get real aggressive here, even though you have a lefty on righty matchup. A well-struck ball is going to score the guy from second.
Cam Hoyland steps up. He's 1 for 2 with a base hit to center. The first hit of the night for the AppleSox. Pitch on the way to him. He is a fastball missing away. And I don't have the TrackMan set up tonight, but I think that was well into the 90s on that pitch. So even though Trevor Moore's thrown a lot of balls here, a lot of pitches, still has some oomph behind it. Moore with a 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and fisted down the left field line. That's going to go foul. 1-1 the count to Cam Hoyland, who was a huge part of the AppleSox last summer, getting to the West Coast League Championship game down in Portland. 1-1 the count to him here. It's that time of night where it's dark-ish. The lights really aren't helping much. I mean, a little bit, but they don't have the pitch calm here. So I could see Trevor Moore kind of squinting in towards home plate to look what Blake Bowles was asking for here. This is where Coach Brandon Schmidt was telling us that sometimes the catchers will paint their fingernails white. Not that there's anything wrong.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
1-1 the count to Hoyland here.
My guess is they might go to what the rest of the upper levels are doing with the
pitch
wireless
comms.
little click, click,
well,
click
there
thing.
are some that do have the pitch comms. We've seen that in, I think it was when Edmonton was here.
Yep.
They were using the pitch
You can use it if you have it.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, expense. Do you have the money? Pitch here, swung on a hit to the right side for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base. It was not strong enough. Noah Mefford came up with the ball quickly. So Cam Hoyland with back-to-back base hits puts runners on the corners for Wenatchee with nobody out, and Wenatchee will bring the tying run to the plate.
Hit a little too hard to the right fielder, and a great throw from the right fielder. If Mitch had sent him, he would have been out by 10 feet.
It's so important for the base runners to find your coach ahead of you, because they've got a better view of what's happening, especially when it's behind you like that. In the case where Cade Martinez winds up at third base on the play. So that'll bring up Izzy Madriaga. He's due 0 for 2 tonight. See if they get aggressive with a runner at first base here and nobody out. Pitch on the way to the plate is a little bit inside for a ball. 1-0 to count to Madriaga. He lined out to right in the first and grounded out to first in the fourth.
We're making contact. We're getting to him here in the sixth inning. I think Mitch is just going to say, just swing. I don't think he's going to try and press the issue here.
Pitch on the way to the plate is in for a strike called, and the count even to Madriaga at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mitch going through the signs in the third base coach's box with Cam Hoyland over at first base. Pickoff move.
Here we go.
Thrown away, and a run's going to score on the pickoff error on the throw by the pitcher. It's now 3-1.
And still nobody out.
So Martinez got aboard on the throwing error by the shortstop, and now scores on the pickoff attempt throw by the pitcher, Trevor Moore. And it's now a 3-1 ball game, and down to second goes Cam Hoyland. And the pitch on the way to Madriaga misses low and inside for a ball. 2-1 the count. Well, they've had this guy warmed up for a long time over there in the bullpen. They could go to him at any moment. Looks like down there is Josh Flauner, who pitched against Wenatchee last Friday as well and was also stellar in relief for Bellingham. 2-1 the count to Madriaga. Infield in on the right side here for Bellingham. Pitch on the way, misses high for ball 3. Little frustration maybe, rattling the cage of the freshman from Stanford, who was outstanding, retired 10 batters in a row to start the ball game. But since then, Wenatchee's touched him up a little bit here. 1 run in for the AppleSox, nobody out, runner at second. He'll shake off and again his catcher on 2 different signs from Blake Balls. 3-1 pitch on the way is ball 4. AppleSox with runners at first and second. Let's see if Ed Nags comes out of the dugout here on the other side of the field. It'll be Jim Clem, the pitching coach, who will come out. So they'll have a discussion on the mound. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting redproject.org. Also by Valley Tractor, North Central Washington's trusted equipment and rental dealer for 75 years. Is Dale Hall still out at Valley Tractor? Do you know?
You know, I don't know. That's
okay.
A good question.
He took over as manager there several years ago. Of course, Dale Hall played for the AppleSox.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a great athlete at Wenatchee High School.
I think he didn't he throw out the first pitch in the game earlier this year?
I believe he did.
I want to say he did.
I believe he did, celebrating 25 years of baseball here this summer. Where were you when they first started talking about AppleSox? Well, summer collegiate baseball. They didn't even have a name for it. When Jim
Corcoran came by the station and said, "This is what we want to do, and this is what I think we can do." The hardest part for Jim was to find a place to play. Of course, he originally wanted it to be a recreation
It would have made
park.
so much sense to play at Rec Park, but the alcohol was the issue.
When I was in high school, 40-some-odd years ago, longer than that, Rec Park was a city facility, and then they did a land swap with the school district, and now it's a school district facility.
Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Quincy Vassar.
I think the fact that Bellingham was ready to go and we were not.
Okay. Yeah, they were still talking it over in front of the the third base dugout. It's usually been Xander Orejudos who coaches at first, but Quincy Vassar, I believe, is over there coaching right now. As Evan Cloyd will step to the plate. Evan 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Sox with a run in, 2 aboard, nobody out. Pitch on the way as he squares to bunt. He'll take the pitch high and away for ball 1.
Well, with no outs, that's an option that Mitch has.
Absolutely, absolutely. Give yourself a chance to pull within 1, but 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch on the way, bunted, popped up, foul territory. Nobody's going to get to it. So it will be strike 1 on Evan Cloyd as he'll breathe a sigh of relief here.
I think Evan's going to bunt again, or try anyway.
What's your thoughts on bunting in Major League Baseball? It's kind of a past art anymore.
Yeah.
The Seattle Mariners have certainly picked up that mantra a little bit more with Dan Wilson as manager.
I think taking away the shift had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
It really did.
Well, I never understood why guys didn't just, when that whole left side of the infield was vacated, why you wouldn't just push a bunt up the third baseline. 1-1 the count here to Cloyd. Infield drawn in on the corners. Mitch Darlington going through the signs here. Asked for Evan to step out of the batter's box. Again, here college, summer collegiate baseball, no limit to how many times you can call timeout and step out, or the pitcher disengaging or tossing to the bag at first or third, whatever. 1-1 count here as Cloyd's back in and ready. And the runners hold. Pitch on the way. He'll take strike 2. Not a sign of a bunt attempt by Evan Cloyd on that one. Now he'll have to swing away with a count. A ball and 2 strikes. It's interesting, the minds here of 2 head coaches, that Mitch Darlington is unabashed about how he uses Ed Nagg's style of ball on how he approaches it. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on a fly ball down the right field line, and it's in no man's land. Got a line for a base hit. Bases loaded for the AppleSox.
That looked like it was going to do exactly what it ended up doing. Just right in the middle of no man's land.
Little can of corn down the right field line and drops in no man's land there. And Evan Cloyd kind of a little excuse me swing, but that'll work. You read about it in the paper tomorrow. It's just as good as a line drive base hit. Base is full of Sox here. Elijah Pelayo now steps up. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out to the strikeout. Wenatchee pressing the issue. Pitch on the way, swung on a miss, and Pelayo has been fooled by Trevor Moore all night long. 0-1 the count. Runner at third base is Cam Hoyland. He's got to watch carefully because this guy has spiked a few balls in the dirt around home plate tonight. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away to the tennis courts nearby. And a count 0-2. This is a good spot to watch baseball.
It really is.
I was talking earlier about how if you can go over to Joe Martin Field and watch a game, that's not a bad place to watch a game.
I love that ballpark.
0-2 count here to Elijah Pelayo. Nobody out, bases loaded, 3-1 game. Pitch on the way, missing low for a ball. 3-man crew tonight. Gabe Nobert behind the plate. Matthew DeGray at first base. Corey Klein at third base. I noticed one of our umpires is a Canadian umpire. He had the Canadian flag on the back of his shirt. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way to Pelayo. Swung on a fly ball to right field. That's going to get caught. Runner from third tags. Here comes the throw home. Good throw. And head first slide gets past the catcher on the ball. Run scores. AppleSox pull to within 1 at 3-2.
Words between the catcher there, Eric. We got ourselves a little brouhaha.
Little head first slide at home by Cam Hoyland. Meanwhile, he's bumping the crowd. Head first line to Blake Balls. Balls was over the top of the plate, but he missed the ball cleanly. That had nothing to do with the slide.
And it looked to me that the catcher was pretty much blocking the plate. He was all on top of it.
So a sacrifice fly and an RBI. And let's talk about that throw from Noah Mefford out there right field. That was fantastic.
This is the same guy who, of course, kept the runner from advancing on that base hit earlier in the inning. The guy's got a cannon of an arm out there.
So the runners will move up 90 feet all the way around. So down to third goes Madriaga. Down to second goes Evan Cloyd. AppleSox 1 out now in the inning, and 90 feet away from tying this thing up as the crowd really got pumped up by the head first slide by Cam Hoyland at home. I was blocked by this pole. I couldn't even see what was going on behind home plate with the skirmish.
Words were exchanged, but things have calmed down.
Jihee Lee now steps up for Wenatchee. Infield drawn in all the way around, trying to keep the game right where it is. Pitch on the way, swung on a chop to the left side. Right there is Kirkpatrick. He'll look and then throw, and it is just in time to get the speedy Jihee Lee over at first base. I'll tell you, I was impressed by Kirkpatrick last week playing at third, and I'm impressed by him here again tonight. So 5-3 on the putouts. Little gamesmanship by Madriaga trying to make Kirkpatrick think more about him than the throw over to first base. So 2 outs for the AppleSox, brings up Noah Fields. Noah is 0 for the night with a line out to center and a ground out. As the AppleSox have scored 2 to pull within 1, 3-2. Pitch on the way is a ball. 1-0 the count. Wenatchee finally getting to Trevor Moore after 8 innings of just frustration between last Friday and this Friday. 1-0 the count here. And the pitch by Moore. Bounces in for a ball. 2-0 the count. It's funny how one play can get a crowd completely jacked up.
Yep.
2-0 the count to Noah Fields. Infield is back with 2 outs in the inning. Runners at second and third for Wenatchee. The 1-0 pitch swung on and hit off of the pitcher, and everybody's going to be safe. The game is tied at 3-3. Well, we saw it earlier where he was able to reach down and field a play and make a line drive catch. This time, a little seeing eye single off the pitcher for Noah Fields. Give him an RBI. Madriaga scores the 3rd run of the inning for the AppleSox. Down to third goes Evan Cloyd, and now we're going to get a pitching change as Ed Nags will come out saying he has seen enough. We're back to even 3-3 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. We'll take a break, come back, get you a new pitcher when we come back here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and 0 emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
New pitcher into the ballgame for Bellingham is Josh Flower, who is a 6'1", 190-pound senior from Southern Arkansas University. He's out of the Bremerton area. He will take over for Trevor Moore, who has given up the 3 runs right now. He's responsible for the 2 on the base paths, so can't quite close the book on him as Josh Flower, F-A-L-A-U-G-H-E-R, takes over here for Bellingham. I'm surprised they went that long with Trevor Moore when he was getting a little shaky there. And but again, that could be his final outing of the summer, so you want to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt.
And Mr. Flower spent quite a bit of time in the bullpen, almost 2 full innings. So he should be plenty warm.
He just rocketed one past the catcher all the way to the backstop. So Wenatchee watching this is Kanoa Morisaki waiting on deck. Let's get you up to date on other scores throughout the West Coast League as Game 1s are being played across the league tonight. Bend Elks now leading Corvallis at Vince Jenna Stadium, bottom of the 6th inning. It is now 6-4 in that one, Bend on top. Marion Berries trying what they can as an expansion team. They are trailing Portland now 3-2. Nope, that just tied 3-3 just while I was watching it in the bottom of the 8th inning. The other North Division playoffs tonight, Edmonton taking it to Victoria on the road tonight in the top of the 8th inning. That one is 8-0. Tell you, Edmonton's got a good team. Meanwhile, the Mariners have taken a lead over Tampa Bay. Now it's in the top of the 9th inning, 3-2 the score. Mariners on top. So that's a sudden turnaround because Seattle was trailing in most of that game, 2-0. Now they lead at 3-2, but the Mariners have been hitting a lot of home runs lately.
Yes, they have. Any word on Naylor? Of course, he left. He tweaked himself during a swing last night.
I didn't hear that. He's such a guy that you don't expect to try to steal a lot of bases. Yet, boy, has he stolen a lot of bases.
You're faster than he is.
So Flower taking over a 2-1 record with a 3.9 earned run average, making his 13th appearance of the summer, will face Kanoa Morisaki, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a ground out. AppleSox have come back to tie it here in the bottom of the 6th, 3-3 the score. Pitch by Flower on the way is in there for a called strike. The count 0-1 to Kanoa Morisaki, who struck out swinging in the 3rd and grounded out to 2nd in the 5th. Love to see the left-handed batter get one through the gap between 1st and 2nd right now, give Wenatchee the lead. Here comes the pitch by Flower on the way. And it's swung on and fouled at the plate. The count 0-2. Well, I wanted to thank our crew tonight before we get too far into this. Malcolm Whitehall back at the studios. Dan Kuntz, our line producer tonight. Oh, hey, there you are.
How are you? In fact, I'm going to have to head back out to the center field camera in the not too distant future.
Yeah, Dan's also been manning cameras tonight, helping out our crew around the ballpark. Pitch here swung on and fouled. Staying alive is Kanoa Morisaki.
The Mariners scored. There were 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th and a Cal Raleigh home run.
Wow. 43 now?
Yep, 43.
How about that? Juan Sanchez, Eli Ginter, and Callie Benson on cameras tonight. Tim Bernowski, our production assistant. Thank you, Tim.
Happy 44th anniversary, by the way.
That's right.
To Tim and his lovely wife.
That's right. Happy anniversary. Here comes the 0-2 pitch again, swung on, and again staying alive. And that was almost in the catcher's glove, and he fouled it off. That's impressive. Wenatchee with 3 runs here in the inning, 2 of which on errors. Again, the 0-2 pitch from Flower on the way to Kanoa Morisaki. High with a fastball, and a count of ball and 2 strikes. Something you see and hear a lot, you watch the College World Series and such, is even if it's artificial, the team in the dugout getting just overly hyped and yelling and screaming and trying to hype up the guys at the plate. 1-2 the count to Morisaki. Pitch on the way, bounces in well short. Runner for first goes to second on the wild pitch. 2-2 the count as Noah Fields winds up down at second base on the play.
Now the infielders go back to their normal spots.
Wenatchee with a chance to score 2 with a well-placed ball here by Kanoa Morisaki. The game tied at 3-3. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 on, 2 outs. And the pitch by Flower. Swung on a fly ball to left field, left center. Who's going to call for it? It will be the left fielder. And Gavin Long will make the catch for the out. But the AppleSox get 3. We're all tied. Heading to the 7th. 3-3 between the Bells and the AppleSox here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Ball knotted at 3-3 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Brock Sell, Aiden Aguayo, and Gavin Long do up the number 9, 1, and 2 batters for Bellingham. And what has become a 3-3 game. If you're just joining us, Bellingham scored a run in the first. They added 2 more in the second. And Trevor Moore was just money for the Bells until things started to rattle in that 6th inning. And also defense didn't help him out much. Of course, he had a throwing error as well on a pickoff move and an error on a defensive play on a throw. And suddenly Wenatchee got things rolling with a base hit, the walk, another base hit, and then an RBI sacrifice fly. They scored 3 in the inning and tied it up here at 3-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. Brock Sell leading it off, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout. And how about the job by Easton Brooks in relief for Wenatchee? After Evan Canfield struggled, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits and an inning and 2/3. Easton Brooks has come in ever since and has just shut Bellingham out. First pitch here is a ball, and ouch, that's not going to make me any friends with a home plate umpire when the catcher misses the ball and it hits the umpire square. Luckily, underneath that thin layer of gabardine, as they say, there's a shin pads on that go from the knees down to the ankle bones.
I'm sure the same 3-man crew will be working tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, yep.
I'm sure they have some sort of merit system to decide who the best umpires are.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a vote that happens by the coaches in the West Coast League. A vote by the umpires themselves, probably too. 1-0 count to Brock Sell here, and the pitch on the way by Easton Brooks is in there for, I thought was in there. I guess a little outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Gabe Norbert is behind home plate. Matthew DeGray out there at first base. Corey Klein at third, our umpiring crew tonight. Pitch on the way. This one is a strike. Yeah, the count goes to 2-1 on Brock Sell.
That 3-run 6th inning has got this crowd all buzzed pretty good. They were pretty quiet.
Yeah, they were. Trevor Moore just dominating until AppleSox got to him. Pitch here is in there for strike 2. Evens the count to Sell at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every ballpark has kind of a unique thing about it. AppleSox ballpark here, well, it used to be the folding seats around home plate here in the bowl were out of the Kingdome. Those were replaced eventually. Pitch here is strike 3 called. Gone looking is Brock Sell for the first out here. And I think that's the 5th strikeout by the Sox pitching staff here tonight, so that means free stuff for the fans here at the ballpark. 1 out, back to the top of the order for Aiden Aguayo.
They were great seats, but of course they were designed for an indoor stadium. I'm amazed they lasted as long as they did.
Yeah, Sandy Cooprider was able to get those, and it was just a bid process, I think, if I remember right. When before the Kingdome, they tore it down, they took the seats out, and they had a bid process, and Sandy Cooprider was able to bid, and I would be willing to bet it was probably Sandy's own money, and then he got donations to help with it after the fact.
He and 6 buddies and some pizza went over in their pickup trucks and picked them up.
Pitch on the way here, misses low and away for a ball. 2-0 the count on the number 1 batter in the order for the Bells, Aguayo. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a base hit. He scored 2 of their 3 runs. Pitch by Easton Brooks on the way. Swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1. Well, the Mariners get the win tonight, 3-2. So they've won 5 in a row, is that right? Going back to last weekend. And a series against Texas. I think they won on Sunday, didn't they? Pitch here is in there for strike 2. Count goes to 2-2 on Aguayo.
Unfortunately for you Mariner fans, Astros beat the Yankees in 10 innings, 5-3.
Well, the Yankees have had a lot of walk-off losses here in the last few weeks.
I like to bring that up quite a bit there, don't you? Just concentrate on the task at hand.
2-2 count here to Aguayo. And the pitch on the way, swung on, and a well-struck ball to deep right center field. This is going to be extra if it's not out of here. It will go off of the base of the fence. And rounding second, heading for third. They could have maybe even tried to send him home, but it'll be a triple with 1 out for Aguayo on a ball smashed to the fence in right center.
It hit that little plastic tarpon that they had advertisers on, and it just killed it. It just stopped right there. So the ball did not bounce off the fence. It just died right where the warning track and the fence meet.
And I think that might be it as Mitch Darlington comes out from the dugout, and we'll see a new pitcher coming to the ball game here for the Wenatchee AppleSox, I believe.
I didn't see anybody warming up.
I didn't see anybody warming up either.
I still don't see anybody
maybe
warming
this
up.
is just about defense with a runner at third and, you know, what Ed Nags likes to do to be aggressive and maybe a suicide squeeze. We saw that here a week ago in an attempt anyway. And so no pitching change. You're right, Dan. Nobody warming up. Easton Brooks has been fantastic up until that triple right there.
I thought he was going to pull a Maury Wells and call for a new pitcher without anybody warming up. He did that a few times when he managed the Mariners back in the day.
Boy, the Nats going back.
Oh, yeah. He was just so bad as a manager. Just terrible. He once filled up a lineup card with 2 third basemen and no center fielder. I remember that, too.
Wasn't he an actor? Who am I thinking of?
Maury Wills, the great Dodgers speedster.
Oh,
when he managed the Mariners.
Wasn't there a Maury
80s.
Wills that was an actor though too?
I don't know, but maybe.
Maury Wills and June Fosbury. So here we go, infield drawn in here. The pitch swung on and a fly ball to left field. Ji-Hee Lee going to have to run for the right line. Runner from third tags. Here's the throw home. It's strong, but will not be in time. Bellingham retakes the lead at 4-3. Sacrifice fly and an RBI for Gavin Long. And scoring on the play is Aguayo. So the triple pays off for Bellingham. 2 outs in the inning. And I'll bring up Andrew Lamb with nobody on the base pass. So it's up to Easton Brooks to get the outs here. They're going to appeal on a throw over to third base to say that maybe the runner left early, and both umpires say nope. He tagged cleanly. And so the game goes back to an advantage by 1 run to the Bells. Lamb tonight with a 2-run single. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. He flew out his last time up. Pitch on the way to him is missing outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Your crew behaving themselves here, Dan?
Yeah, they're being pretty good.
Okay.
I like having an experienced crew.
Yeah, they've been with us for most of the games this summer. This pitch is in there for a strike, and the count even to Andrew Lamb at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the inning. A run in for Bellingham after Aiden Aguayo tripled. And then a sac fly by Gavin Long. Pitch on the way, swung out and missed. He was behind that fastball. Yeah, the count of ball and 2 strikes here on Lamb.
He smoked that pitch, didn't he?
So in relief for Easton Brooks, he's got 4 strikeouts. Would love to get number 5 right here. And the pitch on the way. Oh my, that looked good. I think Andrew Lamb thought maybe that was going to be strike 3 too. He put his bat down and then
I thought for sure he was going to start walking back towards the dugout.
He pretended like he grabbed some dirt around home plate, even though it's all artificial surface here at Paul Thomas. Easton Brooks ready. And the right-hander's 2-2 pitch on the way to the plate. And this one's low for ball 3.
And still nobody in the bullpen for the AppleSox.
Interesting. I guess it depends on the game and where it's at. I mean, Easton Brooks can certainly extend his outings. I'll have to look at his numbers to see what his longest. I think he's pitched 6 innings this summer so far. That was his longest outing. Here comes the pitch on the way on a 3-2, misses outside for ball 4. So that might spark some activity for the AppleSox in their bullpen. 1 aboard with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Noah Cassie. Cassie 1 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, a ground out, and a base hit to center. So Cal Raleigh with a go-ahead 3-run home run, his 43rd of the summer, and the the Mariners win it 4-3 over Tampa Bay. You know, and that's what we talk about. And this pitch swung on and a well-hit ball to right center. It's going back, and it's also off the face of the wall out there, and another run is going to score. And it's now 5-3 Bellingham.
It's two very well hit balls, almost in the exact same location.
RBI double for Noah Cassie.
That should get somebody up and running in the pen for the AppleSox.
So Wenatchee clawed to get themselves back tied and now find themselves trailing again, 5-3.
They sure picked the right opponent, the M's marketing department, to honor Ichiro this weekend. They picked the Rays, not exactly a big draw at T-Mobile Park. So you picked a team that nobody's going to want to come see to pack the stands to honor Ichiro.
Blake Ball steps up, first pitch to him. Missing for ball 1, 1-0 the count to balls.
You know, they're retiring his number tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure the big
unit
unit will
or
be
Sunday that they're actually
tomorrow.
doing?
I think they're retiring his number, and of course, it also was worn by Randy Johnson.
Right.
So
they'll retire the number twice.
Yep. I hope the big unit's there. I think they'll all be there. I'm sure of that.
Pitch on the way, missing for a ball. 2-0 the count, and now third baseman Cade Martinez comes in to talk to Easton Brooks. Well, still nobody throwing down the bullpen for the AppleSox, so it's up to Easton Brooks to get the final out here in the 7th inning. 2 runs are in, and one aboard out at second base in scoring position.
Quincy Vassar has used up his eligibility, right? We can't put him in a uniform? Or?
No.
Okay.
No. I asked him about that in a non-league game, and he says, you know, if I had 364 days to recover, maybe I could pitch an inning.
Mitch put himself in the game earlier this year, I think, against the Fish Sticks. I think he played a couple innings, didn't he?
I think so. Had to follow the Ed Nags lead after Ed pitched against the Yakima Platte Knights back in the day.
There we go again.
Swung on and hit
That's gone.
hard, and it is gone. A 2-run jack here by Blake Bowles, and suddenly it is 7-3 Bellingham. And that's a little payback for the catcher who had the play between his legs and a little extracurricular. Blake Ball's touching home plate and motioning to his teammates in the on-deck circle.
He hit that ball very hard.
Well, and that's the third hard hit ball in the inning off of Easton Brooks. So a 2-run shot for Balls here. All have come to the right side. 2 that hit the wall out in right center. And now this one clears the wall easily in right field. Bellingham has scored 4 in the inning and still batting with 2 outs as Noah Meffert will step up. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Could have made things a little interesting had Easton Brooks plunked the next guy.
There's still a game to play tomorrow.
Yeah, this is true.
And that might be Mitch's thought, too. It's not like there's no tomorrow. There is a tomorrow.
Right.
And he needs to have some fresh arms at Joe Martin for tomorrow night's game.
Meffert fouls the next one off, so he's behind in the count, 0-2. Easton Brooks. Pitch on the way. Misses outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Refresh the screen here on the rest of the West Coast League playoffs tonight. All the games are still in action. A couple in the bottom of the 9th. This pitch misses high and away for a ball. 2-2 the count to Meffert. Corvallis at Bend tonight. That one's in the top of the 7th, with Bend now leading at 7-4 over the Knights. Pitch here, barely staying alive and fouling it off was Meffert. Portland at Marionberries. They lead at 4-3. That's in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom of the 9th in Victoria. Harbor Cats have scored, but still trail the Riverhawks by a score of 6-1 in that other North Division playoff. Pitch here swung on a grounder to the right side. Izzy Madriaga will come in, field, and throw, and it's in time for the out. But not before Bellingham gets 4 runs on a big 2-run home run, a double and a triple. We will take a break and come back as they stretch here at the ballpark. Bottom of the 7th coming your way next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Well, just like that, it becomes a little lopsided ball game here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium after a big 4-run top of the 7th by Bellingham after Wenatchee came back to score 3 in the bottom of the 6th. It's now the Bellingham Bells leading the Wenatchee AppleSox by a score of 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Theo Kim, Cade Martinez, and Cam Hoyland due up for the AppleSox. It'll be interesting to see what happens, Dan Kuntz, with the pitching choices here by Coach Mitch Darlington. I mean, you come back and score 3 runs here, and you know, suddenly you're back in the game. But boy, right now the wind that was in the sails of the Sox has been sucked out by Bellingham with 3 big hits to right field.
After the big double that scored a couple of runs and started to put a little distance between the Bells and the AppleSox, and he did not bring somebody up to the bullpen, told me that this is Easton Brooks' game from this point forward. And there's still nobody up in the bullpen. So, but you're right. I mean, if we scratch together a couple runs and make this a 1-run game.
Well, we mentioned that coming in, Easton Brooks has thrown 38 2/3 this summer, one of the most amount of innings pitched by an AppleSox pitcher this summer. Pitch here is a strike called to Theo Kim, 0-1 the count. Kim 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts.
Let's go.
The most that Easton Brooks has pitched this summer, 7 innings against Edmonton back on July 23rd. A win where he gave up just 3 hits. Wow, how about that? He has pitched 5 plus here tonight for Wenatchee.
Our 3 runs, there was some luck involved. We had the can of corn that fell into no man's land. We had the ball that hit the pitcher's leg. We scored a run on. We had the throwing error on the pickoff move. Billingham's 4 runs, nothing lucky about that. They just hit the ball hard.
Yep. Yeah, definitely so. Scoring recap, Bellingham with a run in the first, 2 more in the second to lead it 3-0. Wenatchee came back and tied it in the 6th with 3 runs, and now Bellingham's retaken the lead with a big 4 spot. In the top half of this inning, we're in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch here, swung on and fouled away, and the count 3-2 on Theo Kim to lead it off here in the 7th for Wenatchee. Well, the AppleSox 2 innings in a row got the leadoff man aboard. They finally cashed that in the 6th on a leadoff error by Cade, or off of a ball hit by Cade Martinez. Swing and a miss here. Catcher will field and throw, and that's a K2-3 on the putout. So second time tonight that Theo Kim has been struck out, and then the catcher had to throw down to first base. That's his 3rd strikeout of the night. Back to the top of the order here for Cade Martinez. Martinez still looking for his first safe base hit. He grounded out and struck out before getting aboard on that throwing error back in the 6th inning last frame. Again, it's Josh Flower, or Flower, if you will, pitching here for Bellingham. The first pitch misses low to Cade Martinez, 1-0 the count. You finally close the book on Trevor Moore tonight as he goes 5 2/3. Pitch is a check swing by Martinez. Ball low, 2-0 the count. He gave up the 3 runs, only one of which was earned on 5 hits. Here's a swing and a miss. 2-1 by Martinez, who was fooled badly by that pitch from Flower. 2-1 count to Cade, back in the right-handed batter's box. And the pitch by Flower is low, popped out of the catcher's glove, and the count goes to 3-1. Blake Ball's behind the plate. Had a collision play at home. Not really a collision. I mean, there was contact. He didn't like it. He didn't like whatever happened after the fact. I think Cam Hoyland was probably jacked up and just jumped up, and the catcher was still there, and so he was physically in his way. A walk here with 1 out to Cade Martinez brings Cam Hoyland to the plate. We'll watch the exchange here between Cam and the catcher, or if there is one, after their little word.
Oh, I think the catcher's feeling just fine. He just jacked a huge home run, so he's feeling pretty good. And still nobody warming up in the AppleSox bullpen.
Meanwhile, right-hander is standing down in the Bellingham bullpen. Flower with a runner behind him at first base, always working from the stretch. And the pitch on the way is bouncing in, got away from the catcher. So down to second base goes Cade Martinez on the wild pitch. It's fun to watch the conversations that happen while the game's going on too. Like right now with Cade Martinez out there at second base, the shortstop coming in, little smile on both their faces. Who knows what was said out there. Pitch here misses to Cam Hoyland, 1-0 the count. Cam's got a good night, 2 for 3 at the plate with a run scored. A couple of base hits for Cam. Sox trailing it by 4. Would love to get a base hit here, but first we're going to get Jim Clem to come out to the mound to talk to Flower. So a little conversation on the mound. We'll pause the action here in the 7th with a runner aboard for the AppleSox. Again, game 2 will be tomorrow night in Bellingham at Joe Martin Field. You can go to the Bellingham Bells website. Just do a search for them on the web, and you'll find their website. If you want to drive to Bellingham on a Saturday afternoon, wouldn't be such a bad thing.
No, it's supposed to be really, I mean, we're going to be warming up. It's going to be a very pleasant weekend here in the Valley, but almost perfect weather in Bellingham. Lots of sunshine, that nice salty sea air, and about 75 degrees. How's that sound?
6:35 game time tomorrow night, and I believe if they play on Sunday, that's a 5:35 game time. I'll see. Oh, they do have it listed just in case. So Wenatchee at Bellingham, nope, 6:35. So same time for all 3 games of the series.
My favorite ballpark in the league, Joe Martin Stadium. I mean, obviously,
I love the press box.
Yeah, it's got a lot of history. I mean, King Griffey Jr. played there, but I mean, it had history before Jr. was born. So it's just a great ballpark, great atmosphere.
1-0 the count. The ball got away from the catcher, bounces out, so then scrambling down to third base on the play is Cade Martinez on another wild pitch. 2-0 the count to Cam Hoyland here.
Well, I don't know if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball. They certainly had their singles crossed, but I can't remember the last time I saw a baseball bounce 25 feet out in front of the catcher like that.
It bounced off the ground and then hit a shin guard and came ricocheting out.
I couldn't quite see that. Your monitor blocked my view. I thought it was just a straight shot. So that is a wild pitch.
So a runner at third base for the AppleSox with 1 out here, trailing it by 4. And a 2-0 count to Cam Hoyland. Pitch on the way. He'll watch that one miss just a little bit low for ball 3. Again, Bellingham with a right-hander warming up, or are they going to say ball 4? I guess I missed a ball. Oh, no, that was the last ball. Okay. Yeah, so a walk. So back-to-back walks here by Flower. Puts runners on the corners for the AppleSox. And that'll bring up Isri Madriaga. Madriaga walked and scored in the 6th. Well, Wenatchee never say die.
No, and if Izzy drives in a run and it's a 7-4 game, does he Start getting some stirrings in the bullpen.
Get the crowd back into it again. Madriaga in the left-handed batter's box. Flower. Runners on the corners. Pitch on the way. Misses way high. And if you're Izzy Madriaga, I'm sitting there waiting until he throws a strike. One out in the inning. Runners on the corners for Wenatchee with Martinez at third, Hoyland at first. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back. And it counts a ball and a strike to Madriaga. Izzy has just scorched it since coming aboard the team here in the last month, batting .350 coming into tonight. Has 21 RBI on the summer. Chance to pick up another couple big ones right here if he can find the hole in the defense. 1-1 pitch. He decided to swing late at that one and fouls it off.
And some great defense, too.
Yes.
Great defense.
Yes.
One of those unique players like Greg Nettles and a few others. He throws right, but he bats left.
Yeah.
And that pretty much guarantees you a starting spot if you're a pretty good baseball player.
Izzy out of Lewis and Clark State.
It's a good way to get playing time.
Yeah, definitely so. Pitch on the way, misses low for a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Do you put Cam Hoyland in motion here at first base?
I don't think with a 4-run deficit you do.
Need all that you can get, so you don't want to waste one on the pass. Hoyland stays, pitch on the way, very high for ball 3.
Now you definitely don't, because he can't seem to find the strike zone all of a sudden.
Three-two count with 1 out and 2 aboard. Pitch on the way, runner from first goes. The pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate, so Hoyland's going to have to retreat to the bag at first. Meanwhile, warming up down in the bullpen here for the Bells is Colt Peterson. We saw him last Friday as well, as he was pretty good in relief. Freshman out of Stanford warming up down in the Bells bullpen.
We could very well see
Flower.
the same 3 pitchers tonight that we saw last Friday night.
Definitely.
In the same order, too, I think.
3-2 pitch again on the way. Cam Hoyland breaks. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back again. And I'll tell you, Madriaga didn't miss that by much.
No.
Swung just under it. 3-2 count remains on Izzy. Back in the left-handed batter's box. Martinez at third, Hoyland at first. Sox trail it by 4. Pitch on the way is low for ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Back to back walks by Flower. And with an arm ready down in the bullpen, we'll see if Ed Nags emerges from the dugout on the first base side here. There will be a walk to the mound by the catcher to have a conversation with his pitcher between Blake Bowles and Flower, and here comes Ed Nags to make the change. So we will take a 60-second break and come back. Sox with the sacks full here in the 7th. A little alliteration at the ballpark on the NCWLIFE Channel.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
New pitcher into the ball game here for the Bellingham Bells is Colt Peterson. Peterson, a 6'1", 190-pound freshman from Stanford out of Tustin, California, will take over here on the mound for the Bellingham Bells. We did see Peterson, Colt Peterson, there we go, last Friday against the Wenatchee AppleSox. He pitched an inning, did not allow a run. Actually did allow a run. It was not an earned run, however. That was that, I think, balk in the 9th inning, if I'm not mistaken. So Colt Peterson will take over here for Josh Flower. Flower goes 2 innings in relief as he got the final out in the 6th, he goes an inning total and a third. Well, let's see, hold on. Came in, got the final out, and got 1 out here, so he goes just 2/3 of an inning. He's responsible for all the runners on the base paths, with Wenatchee loading it up here for Evan Cloyd. Cloyd steps up. Pitch swung on and lifted in the air to left center field. It's going to drop down for a base hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. Into third base with a head first slide is Izzy Madriaga. And just like that, it's 7-5. Two runs in off the base hit to left by Evan Cloyd on the first pitch to him. In relief by Colt Peterson. So Wenatchee still alive. Doctor, there's a heartbeat. And that'll bring up Elijah Pelayo. They'll signal to the defense. Will Blake Bowles behind the plate, the catcher. He'll come out and do some hand gyrations to his infield defensively. In on the corners here with a runner at third base, runner at first base. Still only 1 out for the AppleSox. Pitch on the way, bunt up the first baseline, and this is going to go foul. It was a great attempt at a bunt that would have scored another run, but unfortunately, strike 1. Good idea by Mitch Darlington, head coach for the AppleSox. As breaking from first was Evan Cloyd on the pitch to the plate. Then, after the bunt was laid down, the runner from third, Izzy Madriaga, broke for home. Had that ball stayed fair, would have scored a run easily to pull the Sox to within 1. But it's 0-1. The pitch on the way, high, lookouts. A little head music for Elijah Pelayo. Pelayo looks down the third base coach's box to Mitch Darlington, who goes through the signs. Steps back in the right-handed batter's box, crowding with his right foot, his trailing foot, and the pitch on the way is in there for a strike and a count, a ball and 2 strikes to Pelayo. Pelayo 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out to strikeout. Also had a sacrifice fly for an RBI back in the 6th. Sox gave up a 4 spot in the top half of this inning and have scored 2 back again. This pitch misses low for a ball. Good eye by Pelayo. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another right-hander warming up down in the bullpen for Bellingham. Meanwhile, nobody throwing for the AppleSox. 2-2 pitch on the way by Colt Peterson. Misses low for ball 3. Ji-Hee Lee waiting on deck for Wenatchee. Wenatchee scoring 3 runs in the 6th to tie at 3-3. Bellingham scored 4 in the top of the 7th to take a 7-3 lead. Wenatchee's cut that lead down to 2 here at 7-5 with 2 on and 1 out. The runner for first goes. The pitch is strike 3 called to throw down to second base. Not in time. But strike 3 cold on Elijah Palaio for the second out. Evan Cloyd will get a stolen base, so the AppleSox with the tying run out in scoring position. And Ji-Hee Lee stepping up, who's 1 for 3 tonight, with a strikeout to base hit to right and a ground out to third. Sox fans back into it here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Wenatchee certainly extended its offense here in the last 2 frames. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1 on Ji-Hee Lee. That was a hefty cut right there. Trying to nail the first pitch, just like Evan Cloyd did on a base hit to drive in 2. Cloyd now out at second base. Madriaga at third base. Those are your 2 tying runs, would be, on the base pass with an 0-1 count to Ji-Hee Lee. Pitch on the way by Peterson is a little outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. This, by the way, will be our last broadcast of AppleSox baseball this summer here on the NCWLIFE Channel, as Wenatchee will head to Bellingham tomorrow and Sunday. Apologies, we don't have cables that stretch quite that far. Pitch on the way here, swung on and missed. Heavy swing by Ji-Hee Lee, now behind in the count 0-1-2. AppleSox fans hoping for a little more magic here in the 7th. Madriaga with a lead at third, Cloyd with a lead at second. Lee back in the right-handed batter's box as Colt Peterson trying to shut down the faucet right here. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed, and gone is Lee, and so are the AppleSox, but not before Wenatchee gets a little life here in the 7th. Back-to-back walks, and then Evan Cloyd makes it pay. He brings in 2 as we head to the 8th frame. It is 7-5, Bellingham on top. You're watching the West Coast League North Division playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low price.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Welcome back once again to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. To the top of the 8th inning we go, and the bottom of the order due up for Bellingham. Nate Kirkpatrick, Noah Fugard, and Brock Sell to face Easton Brooks. And Dan Koontz, you're right. There is nobody warming up behind Easton Brooks. This is his to finish.
This is his game.
AppleSox get a little life after the crowd go dead in the 4-run top of the 7th. Wenatchee scores 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to cut the lead to 7-5. So it's doable. Got to hold them in check right here, though.
And who knows what, Mitch and Quincy talking to Easton, saying, "This, you're riding this horse to the end of the game." Maybe that gave him a little boost. Now that the team has scored a little bit, it's like, okay, well.
Well, he gave up 3 very hard hit balls in the top of the 7th.
A double, a triple, and a well-hit home run.
Yes. So here we go. First pitch of the top of the 8th is inside and missing, and I think that maybe got the umpire again. 1-0 the count. Nate Kirkpatrick tonight is 0 for 2. It was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the second. That was Bellingham's second run of the game. He also grounded out twice, once to second base and once to the shortstop. This one off the foot, ouch, and will go foul on the first base side. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Easton Brooks with the 1-1 pitch on the way to Kirkpatrick. Swung on a hit back past the pitcher, and that's going to squeak right into center field for a base hit. That almost hit Easton Brooks. So a base hit up the middle here for the Bells brings up Noah Figured. Noah is 0 for 2 tonight. I'll make that 0 for 3. Popped up a bunt out, lined out to right, and struck out looking to end the 6th. We have not had one double play here tonight in the ball game for either team. Pickoff move to first, got him. Beautiful move by Easton Brooks on a pickoff move, and gone is the base runner Kirkpatrick. So 1 out just like that. So much for the double play conversation. That leaves Noah Figured at the plate with nobody on. Easton Brooks with the wind and delivery. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to Figured. You see that pickoff move? That was beautiful.
I did not. I was doing line producing duties via the walkie-talkie.
That. The 0-1 pitch on the way is strike 2 called, and the count 0-2.
I think Easton's kind of pumped.
So he came in to get the final out in the 2nd. And another strikeout for Easton Brooks in relief here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. I think he's feeding off this crowd a little bit, Dan.
Well, certainly that last inning helped, because after they put on the 4th spot in the 7th, it kind of took a little bit of the air out of the crowd. By the way, it's a beautiful night, just about perfect weather. And then boom.
That's 5 strikeouts in relief for Easton Brooks tonight. First pitch here misses low to Brock Sell. 1-0 the count to Brock. He is 0 for the night as well. Ground outs and a couple of strikeouts looking. Brooks trying to, as it turns out, retire Bellingham in order here, and that would do wonders for the offensive output as well. Pitch here misses inside for a ball. 2-0 the count to Sell.
There's somebody in the bullpen, but they're not doing anything. They're watching the game.
For Wenatchee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of loosening the arm up a little bit, but he's not throwing.
This pitch swung on and fouled away on the third base side, so the count goes to 2-1 on Sell.
That hit somebody's car. That got it pretty
You mean
good.
It wasn't just the sound effects here at the ballpark?
Yeah, that got somebody's rig pretty good.
2-1 the count. I used to park my truck over there, but learned the errors of my ways doing that. 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and then an arm guard went flying as well. So he's not only undressing the batter with his bat, but some of his clothing too. That's a hefty swing. 2-2 the count to Brock Sell. Easton Brooks trying to shut it out here in the 8th. 2 down, 2-2 pitch on the way, and missing just outside for ball 3.
He wanted that one.
The fans, I know you're shocked, also think that should have been strike 3. He'll try it again here. 3-2 pitch, missing way outside for ball 4.
That was overthrown just a little bit. I think he was frustrated by the pitch before he didn't get the strikeout. He kind of overtossed that.
Well, now he comes to the hard part of the order that really started racking it off of him in the 7th inning. It was started by a triple by Aiden Aguayo. In fact, it came with an out in the 7th as Bellingham struck for 4 runs off of Easton Brooks in that 7th inning. Now he's got 2 outs and a runner aboard, and back to Aguayo again, who is 2 for 3 now in the night and has scored 3 times. Pitch here, curveball misses away for ball 1. Dan, I haven't really had a chance to talk to you about some of the changes coming to Major League Baseball. Looks like they're going to go to the review on strikes. Pitch here, swung on, popped up, foul territory, long run for Cade Martinez.
Be out of play. Yep, out of play.
Just out of play.
Even if he caught it, it wouldn't have counted.
1-1 the count here to Aguayo.
Just outside the white line that defines what is in play and out of play. If you cross that line and catch it, it doesn't count.
So when you think about using electronics on strikes.
It worked at the All-Star game. You know,
it was pretty quick.
It was, yeah. It wasn't. It didn't delay the game anymore, but it was also an exhibition game.
Right.
It's really how the umpires feel about it. They've taken to instant replay seemingly okay. I mean, nobody likes to see their call overruled by technology, regardless of what sport you're doing. But in theory, you want to get it right.
Pitch here bounces in for a ball. Good stop by Morisaki, and the count 2-1 on Aguayo.
But of course, umpires have their quirks. You know, some call high strikes, some call low strikes. Some, you know, they all have their own little ways of defining what a strike is, and there's no two umpires that are exactly the same.
2-1 to count to Aguayo here. Easton Brooks with 2 outs and a runner aboard here in the top of the 8th. Pitch is low for a ball. 3-0 the count. Well, there's a body down on the bullpen mound. I don't see a catcher down there to warm anybody up.
He's just been stretching and that kind of stuff.
3-1 the count to Aguayo here. Easton Brooks, we've seen his great move over to the bag at first, and he'll try it again. Got him!
He's calling the balk.
Oh!
Yep. The other field umpire is calling the balk.
How about that? A 3-man crew, and the other umpire is overruling, saying it's a balk, and now Mitch Darlington wants an explanation.
I'm not sure he came to a complete stop. I think that umpire may be right.
So that means the runner will move down to second base on the play, and now it's a 3-1 count remaining on Aguayo.
That's a huge call. That's a huge call.
Yes, in a 2-run game, absolutely.
And with 2 outs, now you got a runner in scoring position. But I actually think that was the right call.
So you're saying as he came with the glove and ball together in his hand on the mound, that he didn't stop for that second? Mitch Darlington got an explanation. I still don't think it was one he wanted. But now it's up to Easton Brooks just to focus on the batter and get the final out here and keep Bellingham off the board in this top of the 8th. 7-5 our score. 2 outs, runner at second base. And the pitch by Brooks. Swung on and missed. Count runs full to Aguayo at 3-2. It was still a great move, even if it was not legal.
Well, yeah. Well, of course, also would have ended the inning, too.
Yeah, which would have been, momentum, right? Momentum swings. 3-2 pitch by Easton Brooks. Last time he missed it way outside. This time it is swung on and fouled away. Staying alive is Aguayo. 2 teams will play no matter what tomorrow night at 6:35 up in Bellingham at Joe Martin Field. Gorgeous place to watch a baseball game from. Yeah, I had the unique opportunity. I saw Ken Griffey Jr. playing at Joe Martin Field as a Bellingham Mariner back in the day.
His rookie year was 87, is that right?
87, yeah. Pitch on the way. Strike 3 called. Gone looking is Aguayo. He doesn't like that call, but it is the 3rd out here of the 8th inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 2-run differential. 7-5 our score. We're back with more next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 2-run ball game, so anything can happen here. So I put my glasses back on after I checked the pitcher warming up down in the bullpen. They may have changed some jersey numbers here in the postseason, because you can update your roster. Looks, according to our eyes out in the outfield,
he told me it was
like a 30,
but I don't have a 30.
But now I'm seeing
roster.
a 20. I'm seeing it looks like Carson Bozel to me.
I think that is Carson Bozel.
22, I think. So maybe they changed who was down there. Meanwhile, for Bellingham, it'll be Colt Peterson continuing to pitch here as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom of the order due up for the AppleSox. Noah Fields, Kanoa Morisaki, and Theo Kim. Boy, this is a lovely little hint of a breeze. I mean, it's just
a beautiful night.
Yeah. I'd be out on my back porch right now if I was home.
And if you're watching at home, folks, you said, boy, I think we'll go to the next game. You're going to have to wait till next June.
Well, you can drive to Bellingham.
You can drive to Bellingham.
Yeah, tomorrow. Pitch on the way is a check swing foul ball by Noah Fields. 0-1 to count. Noah with an RBI single that went off the pitcher's leg. And that two-run, excuse me, where was that? That was the 3-run 6th inning for Wenatchee. So he is 1 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a line out. The 0-1 pitch from Peterson on the way, swung on and missed. 7 runs according to the scoreboard, 9 hits and 2 errors for Bellingham, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Wenatchee. Tight one here. We have a final in other West Coast League playoffs. Get you those scores here in a moment. Pitch on the way, fastball miss. Oh, goodness. Gone looking is Noah Fields on a pitch that looked awfully low from this vantage point.
We've had a lot of called third strikes in this game.
Yes, we have.
About 5 by my count. Backwards case.
Edmonton will take a 1-0 lead over Victoria as they'll head back home tomorrow. That's a trip.
That's a trip.
That's a trip. 6-1 the final. Edmonton at Victoria gets the victory in game 1 of that series tonight.
I was quietly happy we ended up with the number 4 seed in Bellingham instead of the number 3 seed and making the trip to Edmonton.
Yes, definitely so. First pitch to Kanoa Morisaki is ball, and the second pitch is ball 2. Also a final, Portland able to knock off Marionberries on the road tonight, 4-3. So the Pickles are up 1-0 in that series.
Where is Marion, by the way?
Salem.
No, I was talking about your wife.
Oh, that Marion. Oh,
just kidding.
She's in Salem too.
Okay.
No, she's down in Cle Elum. She's with the group for Grant Michelle's birthday.
Gotcha. And the Berries are in Salem. Okay.
The Baylor, yeah.
State capital.
Salem, yep. Pitch on the way, low for a ball.
There are a lot of teams now on the I-5 corridor down in Oregon now.
Yes. Corvallis, Marionberries, Portland. 3-1 to count. Pitch on the way. Swung on a fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is the right fielder. Back. And he'll make the catch just in front of the warning track out there. Tried to, channel Chris Berman there for a minute. 2 outs. It was funny back when the AppleSox first started 25 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to be the play-by-play announcer for KPQ back then.
And the builder of the press box.
I had people say, so what's your home run call going to be? And I said, I have no idea. I will not script it. I will not know until it happens. Mm-hmm. And then it kills me that what I said is something that your Yankees guy says. That killed me. I had no idea. Pitch here is ripped to center field, dropping in for a base hit. 2-out base hit for Theo Kim. Snaps a strikeout night for him. And back to the top of the order, so the AppleSox will bring the tying run to the plate, and that's all you can ask for.
Here we go.
Cade Martinez will step up. But yeah, I said, see ya. Because that's something I used to say all the time.
But
see ya.
John Sterling is now retired.
Yes. But that was back in 25 years ago when he was still doing it. I had no idea. I would never purposely listen to a radio broadcast of the Yankees that I can't stand. Am I not clear about my feelings about the Yankees? I appreciate what they've been able to do.
Right.
I hated Steinbrenner.
Yeah,
just couldn't stand the smug guy. 0-1 count to Martinez after he fouled the first one off. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed.
I have a fallback. When I started to be a Yankee fan, CBS still owned them. So I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, all right. And how did you become a Yankee fan?
Bobby Mercer. He was my favorite player. He was center fielder for the Yankees, kind of by default.
0-2 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away into the tennis courts nearby. So, I mean, why him?
Well, because I remember reading
Yankees were on TV a lot
When
back
I was
then.
just a kid, like 7 or 8 years old, he was the heir apparent.
So this would have been in the 70s?
This is about 71, 72.
Okay.
And it was because he was the heir apparent to Mickey Mantle. They were both from Oklahoma. Mickey retired. Bobby Mercer got to play center field.
0-2 pitch on the way to Martinez, meanwhile, is missing outside for ball. I got to wait. This umpire is so deliberate with his calls. 1-2 the count.
It's just the continuity of DiMaggio to Mantle to Mercer kind of got me. I just enjoyed that.
Was your dad a baseball fan? Was
he very much so. He was a DiMaggio guy.
Swing and a miss here by Cade Martinez will be the final out for the AppleSox here in the 8th.
Eric, I got to leave you, my friend.
Okay, well, thank you for stepping in and talking baseball here tonight. We'll take a break, come back. 9th inning coming up. 7-5 the score. Bells on top. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
So it'll be Gavin Long, Andrew Lamb, and Noah Cassie due up here for the Bellingham Bells as we head to the 9th inning. And it looks like it is a new pitcher for the Wenatchee AppleSox as number 20 is out there for Wenatchee. And that, according to my stat sheet, says is Garrett Hagee, who's taken over. Number 20. Hagee, 6'1", 160-pound junior, Central Washington University. He is an Ephrata product, so close to home for this young fella as he takes over. Just about in the books for the rest of our games tonight in the West Coast League playoffs. Corvallis falls to Bend tonight, 7-5, so the Elks, the only lower-seeded team to win tonight so far, as Portland knocked off the Marion Berries 4-3. Edmonton wins at Victoria 6-1. Bend holds off Corvallis 7-5. And this one, of course, 7-5 as well, as we're in the top of the 9th inning. Gavin Long will step up to lead it off here for Bellingham, who I'm sure would love to get some insurance runs off of Garrett Hagee. First pitch on the way is right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 to count. And my broadcast partner, Brandon Schmidt, would smile at that one. Always try to get those first pitch strikes. Here comes the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Gavin Long, and the count quickly 0-2 in favor of Garrett Hagee. Easton Brooks does a great job in relief here for the Wenatchee AppleSox tonight. Extends all the way through the 8th. Pitch here misses outside for a ball. Good idea by Hagee to get him to reach for one. But Brooks came in with 2 outs in the 2nd. Goes 6 1/3 tonight for Wenatchee. Does give up that 4 spot in the 7th. That was it off of the arm of Easton Brooks tonight. 3, 4, 5 hits. This pitch swung on a fly ball to shallow right, and coming in on the ball is Noah Fields. They'll make the catch for the outs. So 1 out here in the 9th inning. That'll bring up Andrew Lamb. So 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. All 4 runs were earned by Bellingham here tonight off of Easton Brooks. Easton finishes with 6 strikeouts in relief. First pitch here is just missing outside for ball 1 to Andrew Lamb, 1-0 the count. Easton ran into a little bit of trouble in that 7th inning where they scored 4 runs. He did have 1 walk in that frame. Pitch here is outside for a ball, 2-0 the count. And other than that, I don't think Easton Brooks threw another walk. Yeah, he walked a batter in the 8th. So 2 walks here tonight for Easton Brooks in relief. This pitch is, oh my goodness, ball 3. So 3 balls in a row to Andrew Lamb, who walked and scored in that 4-run 7th after Wenatchee came back and scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie it. This pitch is a strike call, and the count goes to 3-1. By the way, due up in the bottom of the 9th for the AppleSox in their last chance. Cam Hoyland, Izzy Madriaga, and Evan Cloyd. Those are the guys you want coming to the plate, so don't go away. 3-1 pitch on the way in the dirt inside for a ball. So a walk given up to Andrew Lamb puts a runner aboard for Noah Cassie. Cassie with a double and an RBI and a run scored in the 7th. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Has a single, ground out, and a strikeout looking. Ed Nags going through the signs here. Looks like they brought in a pinch runner over at the bag at first. Let's see who that is. Pop up in the infield. Who's calling for it? It will be Palayo, the shortstop. So 2 outs. Trying to find out who the runner is over at first base. 22. And so that is Rob Jacobson over there running at first. As I mentioned, Bellingham, I'm sure, would love to get a little insurance here. Blake Balls will be the guy to do it. He's got a big 2-run jack tonight. First pitch he'll watch, miss inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Boy, not missing by much here is Garrett Hagee. Balls 1 for 3 officially tonight. He's got 3 RBI to go along with that 2-run home run. Pitch by Hagee is outside with a fastball for ball 2. Before you know it, we'll be back to high school sports in the fall here on the NCWLIFE Channel. High school football coming your way with a big prep football opener. First weekend of September, and this one's in for a strike. The count goes to 2-1. If I'm not mistaken, it's Wenatchee on Friday night, the 5th of September, and then Eastmont on Saturday, the 6th of September. We'll kick off our fall season right here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that was a flinch but no swing, and a ball 3 to Blake Balls. So Jacobson running at first for Andrew Lamb. 2 outs in the inning for Bellingham, leading it by 2 here in the top of the 9th inning. And a pickoff move, close but not quite. Got your evening newscast with Jefferson Robbins coming up here at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. 3-1, or at the conclusion of tonight's ball game. Pitch by Hagee on the way, strike 2 called, and so the count is full to balls here. As Garrett Hagee trying to finish up the final out here for Bellingham and give Wenatchee a chance in the bottom of the ninth inning. 3-2 count to Blake Balls. Jacobson with a shallow lead over there at first base. The 3-2 pitch as the runner goes on the way. It is high for ball 4. So 2 walks here for Hagee in relief. And that brings up Noah Meffert. Meffert is 0 for the night with a fly out to line out and a couple of ground outs his last 2 times up. So Wenatchee would love to get a ground ball here. Pitch by Hagee, swung on and missed. Behind that fastball from Hagee is Meffert. 0-1 the count, 2 aboard for Bellingham as they lead it by 2 here in the top of the ninth inning. The 0-1 pitch by Hagee on the way is in there for strike 2. So Hagee trying to get a strikeout to finish up the Bells here in the ninth. Turn the ball over to the offense in the bottom of the ninth. See if they can come through with some magic here at home. Pitch on the way is inside and hit the batter. Well, he's ahead in the count, 0-2, and then hits the batter. So runners all the way around for Bellingham here. Brings up Nate Kirkpatrick. And don't be surprised if Ed Nags tries to pull off a little something here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Try to get the Bells an insurance run here. Kirkpatrick with a lead at third. This pitch is in for a strike, and the count 0-1 on Kirkpatrick. I should say Jacobson at third base. They did not call that a strike. That was a ball. Fans wanted it to be a strike, and now finally the home plate umpire agrees. It's even now to Kirkpatrick at 1-1. The third baseman is 1 for 3 tonight. Was also hit by a pitch and scored. Pitch here swung on, popped up a mile high, foul territory, and this one's going to get out of play and will be strike 2. 1-2 to count to Nate Kirkpatrick. It's going to be kind of tight here for our newscast at the top of the hour. We will have that concluding following baseball right here on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Cam Hoyland, Izzy Madriaga, Evan Cloyd due up in the ninth inning for Wenatchee. Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. Best of 3 series. Pitch here misses high. Try to get Kirkpatrick to chase after one. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third baseman back in the right-handed batter's box as Garrett Hagee continues on the mound for Wenatchee. Here comes the right-hander's 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and hit foul, and barely getting a piece of that one was Kirkpatrick to stay alive.
Use all that $300 worth of that back.
So high school sports just around the corner here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we bring you local sports. Heavy dose of it. This pitch swung on and hit to the third baseman. Beautiful play, backhanding the ball, and then racing to the bag is Cade Martinez. 3 unassisted on the putouts, and that'll do it for Bellingham here in the ninth. They leave 3. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth inning. AppleSox with some work to do. They trail at 7-5. It's the West Coast League playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we go to the bottom of the ninth innings. Wenatchee trailing it by 2 runs, 7-5. Cam Hoyland, Izzy Madriaga, and Evan Cloyd due up here in the ninth inning for Wenatchee to face Colt Peterson, who continues to pitch in relief of Josh Flower, who followed up Trevor Moore, who went 5 2/3 tonight, gave up a run, an earned run on 5 hits. Wenatchee scored 3 in total off of him. He struck out 6. Hoyland tonight has scored twice. He's 2 for 3 officially. Walked and scored in the 7th after Bellingham broke a 3-3 tie with 4 runs in the top of the 7th. Wenatchee came back to score 2 in the bottom of the 7th, and Hoyland takes the first pitch here from Peterson for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Cam Hoyland. I'm sure the AppleSox staff working on a game plan against Colt Peterson here between innings. Pitch on the way is a fastball missing outside for ball 2. Good eye by Cam Hoyland. Crowd hanging out here throughout the evening as we reach towards 10 o'clock in the Great Northwest. 2-0 pitch is missing for ball 3. Again, Gabe Norbert behind home plate. Matthew DeGray at first base, Corey Klein at third base. Here are 3-man crew tonight. The 3-0 pitch by Colt Peterson on the way is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1. If you're just joining us, Bellingham scored a run in the first, added 2 more in the second to lead it 3-0 until the bottom of the 6th when Wenatchee came through with 3 runs to tie it. To swing and a miss here is running the count full to Cam Hoyland at 3-2. Bellingham struck right back after it was tied 3-3 with 4 runs in the top of the 7th. Big hit was a 2-run home run. And that top of the 7th inning, pitch here swung on, popped up a mile high. This is going over our heads, but we'll cycle back fair or in foul territory and be caught by the Bells third baseman Kirkpatrick in foul territory for the out. Or not. Did they not say that was a catch in foul territory? Oh, okay. So Hoyland back in. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a ball crushed to right field is going to be out of here. It's a 1-run game after Cam Hoyland gets a reprieve on a foul ball. And Cam makes it a 1-run ball game. He was such a huge part of the AppleSox winning the North Division title a season ago. Can Cam Hoyland strike twice? Well, he does here in the 9th inning. Leadoff home run to right by Hoyland, our 2nd home run in the ball game tonight, and that makes it 7-6. And Izzy Madriaga will try to continue a little magic here as Bellingham sends a right-hander quickly down to the bullpen to start warming up behind Colt Peterson. The AppleSox, a little payback for Bellingham with their jump, and everybody jumps after the home run. Madriaga in the left-handed batter's box. Here comes the pitch by Colt Peterson. It's high and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. So Cam Hoyland, foul ball, gets a reprieve, and the next pitch smacks it over the right field wall. The 1-0 pitch on the way is missing for ball 2. Madriaga has walked a couple of times tonight. He has scored a run. He's 0 for 2 officially with a line out and a ground out. Okay, hold on. Jim Clem's going to come out and talk to his pitcher and give his right-hander a little chance to warm up some more down in the bullpen. So, again, we will get you the latest local news with Jefferson Robbins coming up after the conclusion of our game tonight, and who knows when that might be, considering Wenatchee has scored a run here in the bottom of the 9th on the home run by Cam Hoyland, who a couple of times tonight has pumped some energy into this crowd. He scored back in the 6th inning on a slide home that resulted in a little kerfuffle between himself and the catcher, Blake Bowles, who did not enjoy how Cam Hoyland was a little extra excited on the play. And that resulted in little words exchanged between the two. Now Cam Hoyland with a big home run to right field. And Wenatchee's within striking distance at 7-6. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth inning. 2-0 count to Izzy Madriaga after the visit to the mound to Colt Peterson. Pitch on the way is right down the middle for a strike. And the count goes to 2-1. Evan Cloyd waiting on deck for Wenatchee. Madriaga just trying to get on base right here. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, swung on, and a fly ball to right field. This one not very deep, and the right fielder will nab it. And that's Noah Meffert on the catch. So 1 out for the AppleSox here in the ninth, and that'll bring up Evan Cloyd. Cloyd is 2 for 3 tonight with a 2-run single back in the 7th. Ground out to go with his 2 base hits tonight and a walk. Cloyd represents the tying run at the plate for Wenatchee with 1 out here in the inning. Little breeze freshening from behind us here. And a strike. Swing and a miss by Cloyd. 0-1 the count. Colt Peterson trying to wrap it up for Bellingham. He does have a right-hander warming up in the pen behind him if necessary. Peterson looks in for the sign from Balls. Here comes the pitch on the way. It is inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Buzzed by the home crowd here at Paul Thomas, witnessing their last game of the season to be here at Paul Thomas this summer for this 25 edition of the AppleSox. Pitch here misses outside for a ball. 2-1 to Evan Cloyd. All the rest of the games in the West Coast League's first night of the playoffs are in the books. By the way, if you're just tuning in, Mariners also with a win tonight over Tampa Bay on a 3-run home run by, guess who? Cal Raleigh. Pitch here swung on and chopped off the mound. Tough play for the third baseman. Over to field is Kirkpatrick. The throw is dug out by the first baseman. And the AppleSox are down to their final out here. 2 down in the ninth. Brings up Elijah Pelayo. Elijah has struck out a couple of times tonight. He has an RBI with a sacrifice fly. He's also flown out to right field. So an 0 for 3 night at the plate here for Pelayo. Be the first time for him tonight to face Colt Peterson. Peterson just trying to get the final out for Bellingham. Pitch on the way is a curveball in there for a strike call, and the count 0-1. Pelayo touches home plate with that black stained bat wrapped up around his head. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit inside for a ball. Peterson with a little walk off the backside of the mound. I think he's frustrated. He wanted that strike. 1-1 the count to Pelayo. Peterson set. Pitch on the way is outside again. Framing attempt by Blake Bowles, but no. Home plate umpire says he did not find the strike zone with that one, so it goes to 2-1. Pelayo back in, and a check swing. The umpire behind the home plate called this one. And a count now 2-2. So Wenatchee down to their final strike here in Game 1 of the West Coast League playoffs. Bellingham 7, Wenatchee 6. AppleSox have tried to claw back from behind all night long. Can they do it one more time here in the ninth inning? Colt Peterson wants to shut it down. Pitch on the way, swung on and hit the ground to the second baseman. Bobbles, but then straightens and throws, and that'll be it. And Bellingham takes game one here tonight by a final of 7-6. We will take a break, come back, wrap it up on the way next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $2,500.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything.
When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Some people say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Well, those people have obviously never tried Abby's Big Hawaiian, featuring loads of Canadian bacon and Dole pineapple. Right now at Abby's.com, order this juicy, cheesy, and legendary pizza at a mouth-watering price. Celebrate the summer of good with an Abby's Big Hawaiian.
Well, the Bellingham Bells get game one of their North Division playoffs with the Wenatchee AppleSox. 7-6 the final. Close one back and forth here. Bellingham grabbed a 3-run lead early. Sox came back to tie it with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Bellingham took a 7-3 lead with 4 runs in the 7th. Wenatchee came back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They get a run here in the bottom of the 9th on a solo home run by Cam Hoyland, but cannot claw all the way back and fall by a score of 7-6. So the season will come down to tomorrow for Wenatchee. A must-need win for the AppleSox to extend the season one more day at Joe Martin Field tomorrow night at 6:35. Thanks again to our crew here tonight for helping us on the broadcast. To all of our teammates, we appreciate them all season long and all summer long. And we will join you next with fall sports action coming up September 5th and 6th right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel. Again, game one goes to Bellingham, 7-6 the final. The Bells take the advantage. They'll head home tomorrow and host the AppleSox in game 2 at Joe Martin Field. On behalf of everybody involved in our broadcast tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel, thank you for watching and have a good night. The pitch by Busich.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee AppleSox Baseball right here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Tonight's broadcast was sponsored by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
So the AppleSox will advance